Well, good afternoon, chat. I hope the apocalypse is treating you well. Oh, this might be the last time you can actually say, "Hey, I'm doing pretty all right. Things are looking up for me." Because I don't know if they're going to be looking up for anybody much sooner. We've been following this happening now for we're almost at the we are at the 1 month anniversary. I think the first stream I did was on the 23rd of January. An entire month dedicated to our little girl there. You might know her. Tiny little Chinese lady, likes to ride a white horse, got some funny looking little wings on her back, and a kinky style haircut. Eats some pretty disgusting shit, and sneezes a lot. But overall, pretty good gal. I'd rate her high up there on the list. Now she's blown past some of our previous waifus, if you will. Ebola-chan, nice girl, okay, but couldn't get the fucking job done. Zika-chan, who are you even? Do we even remember? Oh, you made babies with big heads. Get out of here. Go away. SARS-chan. MERS-chan. You're in the rearview mirror. We're driving so far off that you're little specks on the fucking horizon. All right, you're all the way back there. We're talking catastrophe. I've enjoyed watching the last month of this shit transpire because there's nothing funnier to me than watching people say, "It's a nothing burger." Oh, I love that saying. And I just want to, there we go. These buns are empty. There's nothing here. Oh, it's just a few people sick in China. Oh, it's just a few provinces sick in China. So what if half of China shut down? Not a big deal. Okay, all of Southeast Asia shut down. Who really cares? Is it really that big of a deal? Oh, the Middle East too? Whatever, not a big deal. Oh, Europe? Whatever. North America? Come on. Africa? What? All right, so it's spread. Oh, Australia? Oh, so it's spread all over the world now. In fact, I've made my own little chart to keep track. Take a look. This is our own little game of Plague Inc. You can see everywhere it's gone. Today it's infected 4 new countries. Algeria, and we got another one in Africa, Croatia, Austria, and Switzerland. Day before that, it infected a bunch of others as well. You can see the little areas where things pop off. You can notice those tiny little specks on the map where everything goes to shit. So our little nothing burger sure has gotten to be, well, those buns have gotten awfully big. Maybe there's no meat in the middle. Who knows? I know everybody says, but Jim, oh, China has saved the world, Jim. You need to acknowledge that it's peaked, it's over. China, the Chinese, oh, hail the Chinese government. Winnie the Pooh has saved the world, Jim. He's put people in those koofing camps, and he stalled the virus. It's peaked, it's over, it's done with. Oh, we're going to get a few sick people, but China has led the way. I hate to break the news to you. Actually, no, I don't. I love to break the news to you. You nothing burger loving fucks. Please clip this particular segment for all the nothing burgers out there who want to say that, but China, oh, the virus peaked. They said it peaked. It's over. It's done with. A little bit of bad news. Tiny bit of bad news for you guys. What's that say? Oh, coronavirus. Wuhan to quarantine all cured patients for 14 days after they begin testing positive again. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. That's not supposed to happen. Recovered and discharged people were sent to designated centers from Saturday onwards. Decision follows several instances in which recovered patients were found to still be carrying the virus. Here's the key point, kids. And able to infect others. Oh, that's good shit. Oh, my happening boner is just pounding into the wall. I'm going to have somebody come spackle that hole up. So you're telling me our little girl here, our little Corona-chan, she gets you sick. She gets you sick. Gives you the worst run of your life. Maybe your fucking lungs are scarred. Maybe your heart half blows up. Your testicles are no longer functional. You survive it, though. You're a fucking survivor. But you're never cured. You're always sick. And you go out as a cured person and you infect other people. Totally naturally occurring virus, by the way. This is how every disease that's ever been has functioned. You know, the Indonesians were having a little bit of a spat with the international community over the designation of what this is. The difference between SARS-CoV-2 and COVID-19. They were saying, no, SARS-CoV-2 is the virus, and COVID-19 is the disease. Rather fitting that it follows the HIV/AIDS model, because apparently, just like with HIV and AIDS, you can manage the disease, but it never goes away. I hope you're all ready to take Kaletra and Illuvia for the rest of your lives. Oh, that's fun. Immunosuppressants. Oh boy, fun times. I can't wait to get an ear infection on my AIDS medication and have to have them remove my fucking eardrum. Oh, it's gonna be good. What's that? You wanna shove some interferon alpha B up my ass? Give me that cancer med. Oh, some chloroquine. I love my malaria medicine that makes me deaf and blind. Oh, good times ahead. So after you've survived this arduous journey through hell of medications and symptoms, there you are at the end, still infectious as ever, a true typhoid Mary, or as I like to call them, it's not really, we can't call them typhoid Marys. We need a new, more appropriate phrase, Wuhan Wangs. There you are as a Wuhan Wang. You don't appear to be sick, but you're infecting everybody. So that whole list of cured patients that China's so fucking proud to put up, might want to step back a little bit on that one when we're talking about peak infectability. How do you deal with a bunch of people that are infectious like that? I wonder what they're going to do. Could they be sent to the COOF camps forever? I don't know. Oh, it hit its peak. Let's go back to work in the factories. What could go wrong? Well, I could think of a few scenarios of shit going terribly fucking wrong. As you've now got 80,000 people milling about in society getting everybody else sick. Seasonal my ass. Oh, that's some good stuff. Like this monster of a disease with its 24-day incubation period. Its different symptoms upon reinfection, which are even potentially more dangerous. The fact that if you reach serious or critical condition, if you're one of the unlucky 20% that needs to go on a ventilator and be intubated, they're saying that intubation can last upwards of 30 days. I want you to understand something about intubation and ventilators. If they put you on a mechanical breathing machine for 30 fucking days, you're coming out of that with brain damage. Go look up the studies. Look what happens to people that are on a breathing apparatus like that for 30 fucking days. So there's really no winning in this nightmare scenario. But we were only scratching the surface with these symptoms and incubation. Now apparently after you get over the disease, you're still infectious. Fun fucking times. But if that wasn't just awful enough, if this disease wasn't terrible enough that can live on surfaces for up to fucking 9 days, enjoy those Amazon packages when you order your video games, kids. That's going to be fun. Oh, you want that new Switch game? Guess what? It's getting shipped to you from China. They're going to sneeze all over it. As if that wasn't bad enough. As if the idea that this is aerosolized, that it can be sneezed up to 3 to 4 meters at you, wasn't bad enough. Prepare to meet India's worst fucking nightmare. Braps of death. COVID-19 may be both respiratory and fecal transmission, while a sneeze by someone with a respiratory disease can only infect others within a few meters. Virus-laden gaseous plumes from an infected person with diarrhea can infect others up to 200 meters. Now I want you to imagine yourself. There you are, Pajit, sitting down by the river squatting, letting out a deuce. Not feeling so well. I had a bit of a cough for a while. Not sure what's going on there. But you're squeezing it out because that's what you do. It's a designated shitting area. All of a sudden, your gaseous plume of death floats 200 fucking meters and infects everybody else in the area. Bet you wish you'd listened to those fucking UNICEF PSAs about using a toilet now, huh? Gaseous plumes of death. Oh, I love this girl. I'm in love with this avatar of death. We're living in a fucking novel. This is like In the Mouth of Madness. This is so insane it has to have been written by somebody. You can't make things like this up. Fucking fecal ass explosion death plumes. Oh, how'd you like to have that written on your goddamn tombstone? So how'd you get taken out? Well, somebody farted near me. You see, I was hanging out down by the river with my bud, and he had really bad diarrhea. I was like half a mile away, but what do you know? His fucking fecal explosive, his death cloud, caught up to me. He brapped his way all the way over here across the river, and now I'm a dead man. I'm a dead man. Oh, the gift that keeps on giving. But so I just wanted to start out with the nothing burger thing. When you hear people say, or try to say, which I don't even believe, by the way, that it's hit peak in China, but when they say it's hit peak in China, just remember, they're not cured. They're still infecting people. There is no cure. There's no cure at all. Can we talk about just basic human fucking stupidity? Because we've seen quite a few examples of basic human fucking stupidity since this thing has began. Seems like every world leader, regardless of political affiliation, save one, and we'll talk about him in a minute, has been just retarded when it comes to dealing with this. But the basic person on the street, too, is fairly stupid. Now, I'd like to show you something that happened, just happened a couple weeks ago. One of those campaigns to teach those terrible racists a lesson. I want you to, I'm going to read this to you, and I think you'll immediately understand why it's funny. And then just let me read it to you, and then think about what's recently happened. And you'll see the humor in it, I think. On the streets of Florence, Italy, a Wuhan student studying abroad stood with his eyes closed and the card next to him. I am not a virus. I am a human. Eradicate the prejudice. You will love to see how people respond. Oh, how did they respond? Let's watch. Oh my God, this is so uplifting and heartwarming. Oh, get fucked, xenophobia. He's not a virus. I want this man to spit in my mouth. That's right. Get up there and make direct contact, you fucking limp shit morons. Oh, take that mask and that blindfold off and kiss him. Oh, get in there for a smooch. Oh, what's the virus count in Italy right now, by the way? Is it 320? Spreading like wildfire, isn't it? Oh, that is some good. That's some good shit. I am not a virus. Come and give me a hug. Give me a kiss. Let the Chinese man spit in your mouth. That's the only way to teach those fucking racists a lesson. It's like they're just daring things. They're being very daring about it. Oh, I don't even know where do we begin. There's so much to go over. Let's talk about the effects. We talked about manufacturing in China. I mean, I've covered that the last couple of streams. I don't think that's really surprising to anyone, is it? That 16% of manufacturing in this globalized world takes place, of course, in China. And that affecting the supply lines is going to cause problems elsewhere. But eventually it has to catch up to you. And what happened yesterday with our nothing burger, our empty bun, as it were? Wait, now, the red numbers, I'm not an expert on stock markets. red's good, right? When it says negative 1,000, right, in red, that's good. Because you want to be number one, so a high number in the stock market must be bad. So it went up 3.56%, technically on its way to number one. And look, everybody's doing so well. Just all those negative numbers, all that red, that must mean things are looking up. What were some of the headlines regarding this? Oh wait, stocks plunge as coronavirus spreads, costing investors $1.3 trillion. That can't be right. Let's look at the stocks today. Maybe that corrected itself. No, it's more red. Lots and lots of more red. Negative 879. Does that mean the Dow dropped nearly 2,000 points in 2 days? That can't be right. At the rate it's going to be number one real quick. Oh, my friends. Oh, it looks like all those delusions that people have been living under, that this is a empty bun, are finally starting to catch up with people as they realize perhaps, maybe, shit's hitting the fan. And it's looking bad, maybe. Maybe things aren't going as well as we thought. It's maybe not necessarily a nothing burger, but manufacturing and transport around the world is fucked. Multiple people are getting sick in areas everywhere, and companies are starting to tank. Who saw that coming? All right, everybody that's been paying attention to this shit for the last 30 fucking days. That's right, you crashed that shit. That's right, Bobo. It's time. It's time to press the little Y button. Fuck them all into the dirt. Oh, I could have sworn there was another example of human stuff. Oh, here we go. I skipped over this. I shouldn't skip over this. If we're talking about just fucking retards. So you have the guy from the Wuhan student hugging everybody in Italy, and then a week later everybody in Italy's sick. Let's look at a few more examples of just stunning and brave brilliance. Here's one from Iran. I think a lot of people saw this, but if you haven't, you'll love this. Okay, so this guy spent quite a bit of time telling everybody it was a nothing burger until at his press conference he wasn't looking so good.
ما مشکلی نداریم. چند خط جدید تولید اضافه که در صنایع وجود داشت تغییر جهت دادن به سمت شوینده هایی که و اون پنجره ضمن که ما آمادگیمون از لحاظ مطالب آموزشی و هشدار و اینا که مردم بدونن انجام شده بود و الان تو این وضعیتی که هستیم با توجه به ثباتی که در
Oh yeah, just wipe that nothing burger off your face. Remember, nothing to worry about. Everything's just doing great, really, over in Iran. Yeah, he tested positive after sweating like a fucking pig on national television. Really brilliant of you, Iran, to hold those public elections and let people line up. I'm sure that's not going to come to bite you in the ass later on, as this thing spreads like fucking wildfire through your communities. But of course, it's not just Iran or Italy that's just stupid as shit. Let's not forget about the French and what might be the funniest turnaround in 24 hours you'll ever see. At the top there, we have the French minister saying, I don't really see a need to close the border with Italy over the coronavirus. And then, not even really 24 hours later, France reports 2 brand new cases of coronavirus. Oops. Why would we need to clear? Why would we need to stop that? Why would we need to close that border? Maybe so you don't have people coming over and infecting people? Brilliant. I love world governments. Boy, they're staffed with real smart people that really make the big brain fucking decisions that keep us all safe. That's a running theme I've noticed around the world. Hey, can I give a thanks as an American? One to the Democratic Party for keeping those borders open and letting everybody in. And then can I give a thanks to the Republicans, like Trump, for slashing the CDC budget by 16%. and firing the pandemic response team. Both of you, just give yourselves a round of applause. Brilliant fucking plans. Keep the borders open, cut down our healthcare spending, and then get rid of the guys that are in charge of pandemic responses. You are just a gaggle of fucking idiots, aren't you? It's almost like they're daring it. This is like some kind of double dog dare shit where world governments just want to see how much they can piss off Corona Chan before she goes apocalyptic on them. You know, they had reported potentially 260 cases down in Chile and South America. And that's interesting because the CDC held a teleconference today. Again, that's something that's fairly common with them. I think WHO even does it. Or if you're a journalist, you can call in with questions and then it's all over the phone. If you're a regular citizen, you can call in and just listen in. Or you could pretend you're a journalist and ask funny questions. Good luck. Anyway, the CDC was going over some of their things. Quite a few interesting questions being asked. And of course, the last one by CNN journalists trying to get a gotcha moment led to a little bit of information that was a bit surprising and related to a potential spread in South America or Africa. When they were talking about their mathematical modeling of how this virus would spread and the time frame that it would do it in and what would affect its seasonality, CDC said that Donald Trump had gone with their most optimistic version, thinking that warm weather will make it go away. Well, I can tell you right now in Chile, it's definitely above the point that they would be suspecting that this could survive. You've also got Singapore that has fairly warm weather, Australia that has fairly warm weather. We can see it's making its way now into Africa through Egypt and Algeria. So I'm not very convinced that that optimistic model is accurate for shit. I maybe think that just everybody out there is pants on head fucking retarded with this thing. And their incompetence is just making it worse, and I don't understand why. It really is helping to highlight the lack of leadership everywhere, in every party, of every affiliation, of just how fucking dumb they are. Our perfect little Wuhan bioweapon, and I'm sticking with that story. I know Tom Cotton, the senator, got a lot of trouble because he said he didn't believe it came from the wet market. He thought it came from a biolab, potentially. It was one of his 4 hypotheses. The mainstream media got on his ass and said he was a terrible guy for even suggesting that that could be a possibility. Until China itself came out and said, yeah, it didn't come from the wet market. It came from somewhere else, but we don't know. Well, I could hazard a fucking guess on where that came from. I think everybody else can too at this point. A disease that kills old men and renders young men infertile? A disease that infects somebody and keeps them infectious for the rest of their life? A disease that can kill you by drowning you in your lungs or making your heart fail or creating a massive organ failure? Cytokine storms, verbal seizures? It's the ultimate fucking killing weapon. It's a slow burn. You can't make something that just kills 90% of the people. It won't have enough hosts to infect. You got to make it slow. It's got to be gradual. You can't get pushy on a date with this girl. You need to woo the girl from Wuhan. And yet, still, even as it becomes more and more ridiculous and spreads further and further, and we get clusters appearing here and there in the Middle East and Europe, officials still have been trying to push the narrative that this is nothing to worry about, even though they've slowly started to stagger back from that. Now, of course, our boy Teddy from the World Health Organization, you remember him. He's the guy that covered up those cholera epidemics in Africa to get his position at the World Health Organization. That guy. He's the same one that praises China a lot. Look into it. Anyway, Teddy, our boy, went on to tell people that we can't rate this as a pandemic because we don't have a system in place anymore to rate pandemics, so we can't really probably call it that. Now, of course, he got a lot of shit and pushback on that. And now all of a sudden he's saying it's a potential pandemic. I think everybody's pretty much agreed at this point that this is, by any definition, a pandemic. Sure, you might not have at the moment millions of people dead in the streets, but it's on 6 continents. Or, I'm sorry, 5 continents. It's probably going to be in South America. Let's just be honest. It's only a matter of time. It's inevitable. Like, it was inevitable that it would show up in the Middle East. It was inevitable that it would show up in Africa. It was inevitable that it would spread further in Europe. But Teddy's saying, well, this can't be a pandemic. That's not possible. We don't have a word for it anymore. Really still out there just sucking that Chinese dick, aren't you, bro? Now, that doesn't mean that everybody has gone along with that. In fact, you're probably going to start to see some spooky things. Let me see if I can find it. Boy, did I keep that up there? I might not have kept it up. Well, let's look at some of the media narrative. Some of the things that are being said now. Remember, it started off with, you can't be racist, let a Chinese man spit in your mouth. Then it went to, it's just a flu. Then it went to, it won't be a pandemic. And now we've reached a new phase. This is a variation of the one that said, maybe we should just lie down and die. This is from The Atlantic. You're likely to get the coronavirus. Most cases aren't life-threatening, which also makes it a little harder to deal with. And it's an entire article basically trying to it's like a soft sale of this. Hey, don't, bro, okay, we're all going to get this disease. It's like not a big deal, right? So like 7 billion people get a disease that kills what? Maybe 5% of the world? Not a big deal. Relax. What's 5%? I can't even do that math. It's the sniffles. You're likely to get it. Just get over it. Just get over it. What are you worried about? Okay? Not a big deal, man. This happens every year. You just need to relax, bro. All right, you're taking this too seriously. All right, everybody's going to get it. So what if it affects the Olympics? Which, can I just, going back to my point about this being a fucking copy of In the Mouth of Madness, that we're living in a novel written by an insane man. Take a look at this. In regards to the Olympics, this is from a verified account. They're not making it up for laughs, which you'd think they would. This is from the AP Sports. IOC member Dick Pound says Tokyo Olympic organizers have until May to see if the virus is under control. If not, you're probably looking at a cancellation. So big old Dick Pound's up there throwing some weight around, letting some heavy shit hit the table. Telling you the Tokyo Olympics ain't going to happen, bro. Nobody wants to fuck with Dick Pound. A pound of dick is a dangerous thing to anger. Apparently the Olympic Committee is learning that the hard way. Also, the guy we put in charge of our handling the American shit, the one that tried to link the John Hopkins map and sent the wrong link out, his name is Chad Wolf. Chad Wolf. Dick Pound and Chad Wolf. I'm just waiting for, what's the next one? Studley Tiger? What organization does Studley Tiger work for? Let's think of some more names that are just fucking ridiculous for our health officials and officials all over the world to have. I'm starting to think God just figured, fuck it, I'm going to see what's the funniest apocalypse I can come up with, because these monkeys deserve it. They're all in it for the lulz. They like that Keck shit. So I'm going to show them what Yahweh can do. A little old-fashioned Old Testament humor. Enjoy your Chad Wolfs and your Dick Pounds. Enjoy enjoy it just collapsing on your head. It's funny to me. That's why I sent a little girl with bat wings to destroy you all. Oh, and the locust swarm. Let's not forget about the most beautiful locust swarm that's swirling around Africa and China. Amazing. Amazing. We live in a fucking dark comedy at this point. Now, you may remember from the last stream, since we're talking about dark comedies, we mentioned that there was a South Korean cult, very interesting. There's some shenanigans related to that South Korean cult. Put together a little infograph here, a little macro, to help highlight some of it. Let's follow along and just take a look at this. First off, okay, the fucking cult's name, it's Shinji. They just put Cheon in the middle. It's the cult of Shinji. They've picked the worst anime character in existence and built a cult around him. And I'm sticking with that narrative. Fuck them if they have a problem with it. But let's look at two places that this thing is spread that our little cult of Shinji has been connected to. Well, Shadowy Church is at the center of the coronavirus outbreak in South Korea. Did you know that up to a third of the cases reported in South Korea come from this church? Most cases are connected to it. Did you also know that Israel is now getting its ass handed to it because they decided to send over a little tour group? The Shinji Church toured Israel sites, 18 of them affected with the virus at the time, 180 or 120,000 members. The best part of this all, the organization had opened a church in Wuhan and then erased all references to it. Now, when you think about this, things get a little weird. Okay, we're going to go a little Alex Jones on this shit for a moment. So put your tinfoil hats on. Let's talk about this crazy cult from South Korea that seems to be connected to the outbreaks in at least 2 nations. Now, our doomsday cult here, the Church of Shinji, I'd want doom and gloom too. I'd want the world to end if I had to watch this fucking anime again, so I can understand the motivation that's probably pushing them forward on that. Gets a bunch of people in South Korea sick, gets potentially a bunch of people in Israel sick. But then somebody sent me a map of their church locations, and, let's just take a look at the church locations and the original hot zones around the world and see, by circling them in red, if anything lines up. So here's the Shinji Church, and circled in red are all the places that the virus suddenly, just kind of started kicking off. 2 locations in Canada. You've got your one up by Massachusetts, the multiple locations in California, Japan, of course, South Korea. You've got the Philippines. You've got cases in India and in China. And then, remarkably, look at that. Finland and Norway, but not Sweden. Lots of them located there in Central Europe and even into Africa. Oh, and Australia too. It's almost, there are more of them circled than there aren't. Now, going back to that Alex Jones conspiracy shit. You've got a death cult in South Korea that's somehow infecting themselves with this delicious disease. Maybe they were at Wuhan at ground zero when this broke off. Maybe a lab worker was a member of the church. And they're all infected. And they've got weeks of lead-up time because that has a 24-day incubation period. And so they decide to go visit some of the branches all over the world. What do you think's going to happen? And our little cult of Shinji. Look at that smiling face. Look at that smiling face. So happy. So happy to bring about the end times apocalypse. Yes, the Koof cultists, as it were. Oh, and you may laugh, chat, but just understand that at the moment, the South Korean government is working on rounding them up and shutting their churches down. Now, I'm not sure why that is. Maybe they're concerned about it too. Maybe these Koof cultists, maybe they're out there doing some shenanigans that we're unaware of. But it sure is interesting. Sure is interesting to watch the Church of Shinji spread the good word of our little lady from Wuhan. That's right, congratulations, they are in order. Get that message out, spread it across the world to all the people waiting to embrace her love, her message of unity. Oh, if we can't be one in this world, we'll be one in the grave. What a beautiful message of unity. There are no differences when you're dead. When we're all piled in this fucking, this pit together, that's when we'll have true equality. That's the message of the Shinji cult. I like that a journalist actually went to interview them, and their leader is insane. Told the journalist that he was immortal, and told them that, if you want to join the Shinji cult, you have to go through a pre-selection phase that can last up to 6 months. 6 months to get into this little cult. And then you're taken blindfolded to secret meeting places so you can't give away where it is. Very, very strange. Waiting for the world to end, because he is, as he claims, the second reincarnation of Jesus Christ, probably trying to fulfill the end times and get the apocalypse to kick off. Some food for thought. An interesting little anecdote, a nice little side story of things that are happening out there. Throw a few extra book ideas at you. We had Dean Koontz talking about Wuhan 400. Somebody said this lines up almost with a Tom Clancy novel about a cult that was trying to spread a disease around the world. Can't forget The Division as well, since it apparently can live on money, and they're all using UV light and just burning bills to try to get through it. So lots of fun shit. Fiction becoming reality it's the way to go, I think. Why not? But if we're going to go conspiracy, on this. Let's go full tilt. This is from the CDC government website. You can look it up yourselves. It's been updated February 24th, even though the numbers are technically inaccurate. We have many more confirmed cases, but here they are, and it tells you how many people have tested positive travel-related, 12 person-to-person 2, so they're saying 14 confirmed cases. Again, we know there are more, but this is what they're saying. But below that's more interesting. Total tested, 426 total tested, just 426. Now, when they sent their testing kits out to people in different states, they said, well, there was a problem with the reagent. We're getting false negatives. There's an issue with some of the chemicals, so we need to take all those kits back. You need to test directly through us. We don't want states testing. You need to test directly through the CDC to get your results. And it got me to thinking, why is it that South Korea at this point has tested 20,000 people, Japan has tested over 2,000 people, China has tested, I believe, 30,000 people using this specific test, and other nations as well. Italy's testing, and everybody else is. And yet the CDC is saying they've only tested 426 people. Now, why would they only be able to test that minimal amount? It seems so strange to have such an issue with your testing kits. Reports of flu-like illnesses remain high even as flu season wanes. The end of this flu season is still more active than even the highest peak of last year's difficult season. That's interesting when you put those two things side by side. They're both from the 24th, by the way. So there are a bunch of people out there with flu-like illnesses that it's higher than the peak of last year during the most difficult season they've ever experienced. Okay, I think we're back. Oh, they're coming. They're coming for me. I don't know what that was. All of a sudden, my mic just died on me. That wasn't even me hitting mute. It just died on me. Okay. Okay. Let me try it again. We should have audio coming through now. Let me see how far behind. Oh, that is some spooky shit. Okay. All right, it's back. It's back. Relax. Honest to God, I don't know what happened there. All of a sudden, it just cut out as I was going over my CDC conspiracy. You're not going to get me, government. You can't stop this happening. I don't know where it cut out, so I don't know what you didn't hear. So I'll just sum it up again. CDC's only tested 426 people after sending out faulty kits, claiming it can't test anymore. Other nations are testing thousands to tens of thousands of people easily. At the same time, we're having reports of flu-like illnesses all over the United States. Seems a little bit coincidental, which leads me back to my main point. If you've watched a sci-fi movie or a horror movie where the aliens are coming, or there's a meteor that's going to smash into the Earth, what always happens in those sci-fi movies? Well, there's a scientist who finds out, oh my God, they look through their telescope, or oh, they see a sign of an alien somewhere up in the sky. And they freak out, they start running, and they say, holy shit. You need to understand, there's a meteor coming for us. We need to inform them. The American people need to know. They need to be able to be prepared for what's coming. But of course, what happens? There's always somebody there that says, no, we can't tell them because they'll freak the fuck out. the American people can't handle knowing the meteor is going to hit, that the aliens are going to invade. You need to sit on that information. So it makes me wonder, why is it the CDC can only test 426 people? Did they maybe find out that there are more cases out there, many more cases out there, and don't want to start people freaking out, want to gradually ease you into it as the markets crash around the world and it spreads everywhere? It would be kind of ridiculous to imagine that it hadn't spread here. There's quite a lot of international traffic and travel coming from China to the United States and coming from all these other infected regions. How do you manage that? What exactly is your containment scenario? Okay, you block flights from China, but then India is infected. Do you block flights from them? What about Japan and South Korea, Algeria, Italy? How do you keep up with it? You either lock the borders down or you're fucked. I mean, that French, the little French screen cap earlier, that's humorous, but it does point out a flaw. As it spreads, you have more vectors of infecting you. So it's hard for me to imagine that we have so few cases in the United States. I'm sure we've got upwards of 7,000 people under quarantine being watched right now. Self-isolation, dictated by the federal government. They're not volunteering for it. It's federal self-quarantine. Just in California, upwards of 7,000. 325 in Michigan, another 300 in Washington. All over the place. Very interesting. In fact, there's a court battle going on about this that you can watch kind of transpire. Somebody from Fox News was covering it in L.A., and some of the justification for what they want to do is fucking stunning to me. But let's go over that. Breaking. He's at a federal court, obviously, talking about this. Now, they're talking about what's going on in Costa Mesa. Costa Mesa was going to have 67 people brought to them and put into a building. Now, Costa Mesa says we're a very populated area, and you want to bring confirmed cases here. Again, very weird, right? Remember, we saw the CDC website said only 14 people, yet every news report about this is 60 to 70 confirmed coronavirus patients. Wanted to put them in Costa Mesa into a building. They ended up having to sue. Didn't want that to happen. Now, the feds, and they went back and forth on this. But I think this is probably the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard. This was the government's reasoning for why they chose Costa Mesa and the development center. The feds and state of California want to bring newly infected California residents to the Fairview Developmental Center in Costa Mesa, which is in a densely populated area. State and federal say it's surrounded by a golf course on 3 sides. CDC inspected this and found it suitable. So basically what the federal government, in their infinite fucking wisdom, is telling the people of Costa Mesa, and it's hard to even fathom that this is a real thing. They're saying, hey, we're going to put 70 people we know are infected in that building over there, but don't worry about it. You're protected because there's a golf course. Hey, we have this terrible disease that if somebody farts from their shitty ass, will shoot out fecal death matter 200 meters into the air and outwards. But you're protected because you have a golf course around you. That should, golf courses are a natural barrier and barricade against deadly viruses that may come to infect you. You just need to trust us on this, bro. All right, and stop freaking out. I don't understand what's the issue, man. What's the issue? I don't blame Costa Mesa, and I don't even blame the community in Alabama for not wanting this to come to their area. They're freaked out. Why wouldn't you be freaked out? The framing of this has been, you're racist if you don't accept it. Bullshit. You're cautious if you don't accept it. Oh, you're not going to enough Chinese restaurants. You're not going to enough populated metropolitan areas. Why won't you go on this plane trip? Why would you subject yourself to something that's a risk? As you know, a new disease is spreading everywhere. A disease that apparently can hide in people. They can be asymptomatic and a spreader of it before they get sick, recover, and still be an asymptomatic spreader afterwards. Why wouldn't that terrify people? So you have all these infected people, and instead of keeping them segregated on these military bases, the 15 you set up all over the country, you want to start just planting them in different communities. Now, how is that for a response? You're not going to try to geographically isolate this. You're not going to say, we're going to take all these overseas cases and suspected cases in the U.S., and we're going to geographically isolate them to a particular state or two, and that's going to be our main area, our main focus. All our resources are going to go to that. Instead, what you're going to say is, we're going to take 70 of them and put them in California. We're going to take another 30, move them to Alabama. Let's throw a few in Texas, put a couple up in Michigan. How about some in New York? Let's go to Massachusetts. Let's make sure this fucking plague is in every fucking location around the country. You know, our asymptomatic spreaders. When the CDC did their teleconference and were asked, why are you only using a 14-day quarantine? Their response was, oh, well, we don't have any confirmation that it is 24-day incubation, even though the doctor that is renowned for working on SARS is the one who published a paper talking about it being a 24-day incubation, even though we've seen numerous fucking cases from the whistleblower himself in China that brought this case forward to other people that have documented it, and we've seen on social media, and we've seen doctors talk about their fucking patients, saying that incubation periods went beyond 14 days. We had a case in California, 14-day self-quarantine. 3 days after they leave, they're testing positive. So you explain to me why the CDC is sticking so ardently to this fucking 14-day thing. So you take all these infected people, you move them to multiple states and every geographic region in the fucking country, and then you say after 14 days, Yahtzee, you're free, good luck, have a nice day. You give them a firm handshake and give them a how do you do. And that's supposed to put people at ease and make them comfortable. These are bad decisions. Ridiculous decisions. These health organizations around the world, these world governments, these different leaderships, have treated this like it's a joke for 30 days. And it's gotten worse every day. And it's had more of an impact every day. It's fucked with manufacturing. It's fucked with medical supplies. It's fucked with the markets. It's infected and killed people. It's spread across borders. And yet, as this continues to go on, as it continues to build and just go on and on and on, they still play these fucking games. Because nobody has enough common sense to try to fucking contain this shit. And China's brutal attempt at it, with their getting rid of any citizen journalist and fudging their fucking numbers and trying to look good and save face, has probably given everybody the wrong perception of how dangerous this disease is and has set us all up for a big fucking surprise. So, if they're right, and all those recovered patients are still infectious, what is the rest of the world going to do? What about those 300 people in Italy? Where do they go? How about the 70 in the United States? What do we do with 70 United States citizens that are still infectious with a disease? Are they quarantined for life? Is that what happens? You know, there was a movie from the 70s, I can't remember the name of it, about a disease that came from outer space. It was like some kind of crystal virus. And these scientists, they go into an underground bunker to deal with it. They're working for a vaccine. And of course, one of the scientists fucks it up. It's a woman. Why wouldn't it be? She has epilepsy, but she lies to get in on the project and sets off the nuclear destructing mechanism or some shit because it thinks it's been infected. But fast forward to the end of the movie, what happens? The world outside develops one vaccine for a version, a mutation of it, and the people in the bunker develop a vaccine for a different mutation. And they can never ever meet again because they'll infect each other with their strain of what they've got. So all these asymptomatic people now that spread this disease, they wear masks for the rest of their life. What do we do with them? Anybody have Andromeda strain? Thank you, chat. So what do you do with them? What's the world prepared to do with that situation? Everybody's going to have to be on AIDS medicine for the rest of their life? Is that it? We're going to have to start segregating people? Are they going to have to be moved to some kind of fucking island, Survivor Island? This is going to be like the Tower of Babylon or some shit? They're going to have to come up. It's like a reverse version of the Tower of Babylon, or Babel, or whatever. We're going to have to take people from around the world, stick them in one place, and wait till they learn one common language, because they're the only ones that can be around each other? Just fucking ridiculous. So let's talk about PrEP, because I think it's time now. You know, as this has been going on, I'm sure a fair amount of people, maybe overly cautious, overly eager, you can describe them however you want, thought bad shit was coming, so they prepped. So prepping, what is prepping? Well, obviously it's ordering Jim Baker's amazing buckets of Armageddon cheese, Who doesn't want a 54-gallon bucket of cheese so you can survive the coming? Also, you can tell this is an American product. I swear to God, upper left-hand corner. Who makes a bucket of hamburgers? That's the most American thing I've ever fucking seen. A Jim Baker bucket of hamburgers for Armageddon. So prepping is just simply preparing for the worst. And I think maybe it's time to consider prepping. And why do I bring that up? Well, I want to show you just a few clips to give you an idea. Just a small idea of kind of what it's like when you don't prep and this stuff starts to go tits up around you. So let's take a look at South Korea, because it kind of blew up in South Korea, and see what's going on with them. Here's a video of people. I want you to look at the size of this line. They're lined up to buy masks, by the way. Just unbelievable. That amount of people just to get into a store to get masks. Now, do you want to be in a line when shit hits the fan over here? Do you want to be stuck in a line of dealing with people? of having to... volume's not working on that for some reason. Doesn't matter. Of having to deal with people? I mean, just look at the size of that fucking line. You already don't have a goddamn mask. Now you're going to be in a populated area where there's a fucking outbreak, lined up with thousands of people, hoping to get a mask or two that'll last you a day or two. That's kind of what it looks like when you wait for shit to hit the fan and then you start to get the necessities gathered up. Now that's South Korea. Let's take a look at what Italy looks like. Because, why not? It's fun. Here's a video from Italy. Hopefully that's coming in. Just to kind of give you an idea what their supermarkets look like as people suddenly realize, oh shit, maybe things are going to go bad. As items fly off the shelves. Of course, the idiots that they are went for the stuff that's going to go bad quickest, but whatever. Here's another video from Italy, giving you another idea of just what it looks like inside. This is Milan, I believe. As people just start fucking going apeshit. And just start crowding into stores, gathering up fucking anything and everything they can think of. It's line after line of people getting ready because now shit has hit the fan, and now they have to deal with it. And that is not the situation that you want to find yourself in. No, you want to be the guy with a bucket of Armageddon cheese, as corny as that may sound. Now, in fact, fuck, where is it? I should have it here. Yep, here we are. Give you an idea, this is in America. Face masks are sold out everywhere in New York City, none at CVS, Target, or Walgreens. And the sign on the door says, face masks and gloves may be temporarily unavailable due to high demand. It's not even hit over here. But due to high demand, we're out of this shit. Now, I know a lot of people are like, well, where do I get a mask? If I can't go to CVS, if I can't go to Walmart, where do I get my mask? So I'm going to let you in on a little secret. An easy way to get a mask. And I'll even tell you how to do it so you don't look like an insane person. Maybe you're very easily embarrassed and don't want to walk into a store and say, oh my God, it's Armageddon. All right, you want to be able to pull back a little bit from that. So I'm going to give you 2 phrases to say, and I'm going to tell you where to say them. So write this down on a little sheet of paper. All right, first phrase is, I'm going to do some sheetrocking. Second phrase is, I'm laying 2-part epoxy. That's literally all you have to say. And then when you go into the Northwestern Tools, Ace Hardware, Menards, wherever the fuck it is you go, the guy at the front counter will gruff, whatever, and then he'll point you to the fucking masks. And that's where you're going to find your 3M masks. Don't go to Walmart. Don't go to CVS. Don't go to fucking Walgreens. Go to a fucking hardware and tool store and just tell the guy at the front that, and he will point you to the 3M masks. You know, the N95s, the P100s, all the fucking cartridges you could ever need. And I guarantee you, all the people that are going to panic to look for this shit, are they going to go to the grocery store? They're going to go to Target and Walmart, and they're not going to have any clue where the fuck to find this shit, except for you, who wrote down the simple phrase, laying some sheetrock, doing some 2-part epoxy. So that's my tip to you that's Prepping 101 from Jim. There you go. There you go. That's what you tell them. You tell them you get you your P100s. You get your N95s. By the way, I think the P is just related to oil and liquid. Don't worry about it too much. Just get whatever you want. But I would suggest just get a mask ahead of time. Just be ready, then you got it and you're not worried about it. Maybe make sure you got a little bit of food stored up, some water stored up, book or a board game for entertainment. Because you're probably going to be sitting in your house for a while. And why would I say that? Well, the CDC has come out and basically said, you need to start preparing. It's not an if, it's a when. They believe a pandemic is going to hit. They don't know how severe it's going to be, but they've announced it. It's in the news stories now. You can go read it. That happened today. In fact, I believe, surprisingly, even the Minnesota Department of Health, let me see if I can find this article, actually basically came out. The Minnesota, which is a state I would never suspect would ever say this, decided to come out and basically tell everybody, get your shit in order. Get your shit in order. It's about to go down. Let's take a look at the article, just to give you an idea of how they're bracing the public for what they think is about to happen. And of course, it's going to pull this. All right, let me see if I can fix this. There we go. I think we're better now. So, Minnesota experts, it's time for families to plan for an outbreak. This came out yesterday. And I want you to look at who the people are that are speaking. That's what makes it so interesting. So far, there are a few dozen confirmed cases in the United States. But Minnesota Department of Health Infectious Disease Director, all right, this is somebody that works for them, Chris Ersman, said it's very likely there will be outbreaks of the virus here, referring to Minnesota. And Michael Ostrom, an expert of infectious disease at the U of M, said people should assume the virus will hit hard. Ersman said Monday that the state is well prepared to identify cases quickly and isolate them. But if cases are widespread, it's likely schools, churches, and other public meeting places will close. When we talk about shutting things down, we'll look at how we can use that strategy effectively to slow down the spread of the disease. Now, Ersman switches off to Alzheimer's. He's kind of talking about not doom and gloom, but what I found most interesting is what they say here. Families need to have plans for how they will stay in contact with each other. This is the U of M expert. Who's going to take care of grandma if she gets sick? For single-parent families, who's going to be there when the kids get sick or the mom or dad gets sick? That's the kind of thing right now that is really important that we need to begin to address. You know we haven't done that. Ersman said there are some simple but important things everyone can do to reduce the spread of the virus. Stay home when you're sick, limited physical contact like handshakes. And she said everyone should think of what they would need to care for sick family members at home, just to make sure that you know you have some basic resources in terms of foodstuffs and things like that. So that if you would have a family member that gets sick and are unable to go out for a few days, you have enough basic supplies to keep going. Now, they stress not to panic, but the fact that the Minnesota Department of Health infectious disease expert, as well as somebody who's an authority from the U of M, basically both came out and said, yeah, shit's about to hit the fan. We'll keep the lights on, but grandma might get sick and you're going to need to deal with it. Shit's about to come down the pipeline. It's time that you need to start to address the reality of the situation. And of course, Minnesota says this, and the next day the CDC basically comes out and says the same thing. It's coming here. We're going to have to deal with it. It's time to face reality. We're not going to be unaffected. The only thing we don't know is how bad it's going to be. So when you hear government authorities start to talk about prepping, that's when you need to get your ass to a store and start to prep. And that doesn't mean panic buying. That doesn't mean you go out and you go insane. I'm not telling you to buy a fucking tank, to dig a bunker, to spend $10,000 on fucking Twinkies. I'm just saying, get a mask, stock up on some basic medicines, get a bag of rice, some dried food, some canned foods, some bottled water. Just have some shit so you can hunker down and not have to deal with this. Because we don't know where it's going to pop up. And if it pops up in your town and they lock you down, if they quarantine that town because it's just too bad off, well, you're going to be on your own. And you're going to have to hope that you've got enough food and medicine and other basic necessities to survive. You're going to want some gloves, some hand sanitizers, some shit to clean surfaces, whether that's Lysol or bleach. You're going to need to be attentive. Now, I would wager, if you go out now from this day forward, now that the CDC and other state governments are starting to say this, and just pay attention to the stores you go to, I'm going to guess you're going to start to see things are disappearing. That's probably other preppers in your area that are getting ready. Because when it finally does, and I think the American mentality is going to be, you're going to need to see people die on the street. You're going to need to see an American filmed having a massive heart attack or a verbal seizure on the street. And when that finally happens, and it's confirmed it's from our little girl here, Corona-chan, that's when they're really going to fucking freak out. Now, more than likely, based on the distribution of cases in the U.S., those being watched in quarantine, and based on just basic air travel into the U.S., that's either going to be the East Coast or the West Coast. More than likely West Coast. More than likely California, you're the first one. When it goes bad, it's going to go bad with you. It's going to be these self-isolated people that become infectious. It's going to be these cured people that are still infectious. It's going to go through your homeless population. And then it's going to start to explode in your major cities. So if you're in California, seriously consider maybe getting some shit in order and being ready. This is rolled out in waves. It came out of China, and a few weeks later came into Southeast Asia. A few weeks after that, it slowly rolled into Europe, and then hit the Middle East, and now it's hit Italy, and it will spread, I'm sure, through Europe. So the American wave, if it's coming, probably is going to come in the next week or two, and it's probably going to start in California. I may be surprised, maybe it's somewhere else, who knows? But it just doesn't look good. It doesn't look good, especially when you look at articles coming out of China saying they're still sick. The cured are still infectious. This is a nasty fucking thing. It's caused massive economic damage. It's fucking with entertainment, transportation, just all sorts of things. It's fucking with the stock market. People are getting sick and dying. They're getting scared. And now they're trying to say that it's seasonal, which is even more terrifying. Is that next year do we have to lock down 1 billion people again? Can the world's economy handle that? A yearly lockdown of a seventh of the population? Is that where we're going? I don't think that's something that can be sustainable. This might be the thing where we're going to have to wait a year to 18 months to get a vaccine. And will that even work? I don't know. This disease is so fucking bizarre. Everything about it is so weird. With its, let me rephrase that. The totally natural virus is so bizarre in how it acts and what it does. Fucking hell, man. I feel like I'm living in Crazy Town. I don't know what to tell you. It's just, how many government leaders have we seen do stupid shit? Iranian deputy health minister telling people don't worry about it, literally gets sick on national television and confirmed to have a case. Cambodia, or the Prime Minister of Cambodia, lets the fucking Westerdam dock at port, says there's nothing to worry about, gives hugs and kisses to all the fucking idiot passengers, and then it's confirmed one of them's sick. You know, like, Japan has, it's a first world country, yet for some reason all of these different doctors and nurses and quarantine officers keep getting sick. How is that? You know, what exactly is going on there? In America, we don't even have our fucking pandemic team in place anymore. And the CDC, to me, feels like it's being leashed. Like it's not allowed to really say maybe more than it wants to say. And then it seems like every drug they talk about that treats this thing, every drug that they list as being a potential cure-all has just horrible fucking side effects. Trust me, you don't want to be on cancer medicine, AIDS medicine, and fucking malaria medicine for the rest of your life. That will be a nightmare. You know, one of the bigger treatment components is steroids, massive amounts of steroids, especially if you're intubated for a fucking 30-day period. To help with the breathing and all that, you need to get the inflammation down. It's going to wreak havoc on your whole fucking system. Oh, man. To me, it doesn't feel like it's ending or peaking or finding a balance or an equilibrium. It feels like it's finally starting to begin. And I really hope that story out of China is untrue. I really hope that once you're cured and done with this, that it doesn't stay in your body and, worst of all, make you still infectious. Because then we have a real fucking problem. Because then you're going to have to start to make some real tough decisions on what you do with people that can never be cured but can get you sick. You either put them on an island somewhere, or you're going to have to take more extreme measures. And I'm sure you can all imagine what that entails. Now, maybe a few countries have the wherewithal, I guess, to do that, but I wouldn't count on all of them being able to do that. But I'd like to talk about world leadership, and I'd like to talk about one leader in particular. You know what? I should have had a picture ready of him. That's my fault. I didn't. I'm going to find a picture of him right now. Our boy here. Let me find a nice, handsome picture of him. Want something that's just stunning. Something very handsome so I can put up on screen and everybody's like, yeah, that's him. Okay, I think that should be good. Sorry, chat. This will take just a moment. I want to talk about leadership from an unexpected source. All right, where are you? Where are you, Kimmy? There we go. It's a little bit too big. Gaze on his glory. All right, there we go. That should be coming through now. So let's talk about Kim Jong-un, leader of North Korea, and what happened since this began, because I think it's really fascinating, his reaction to the entire epidemic, because at the time it was just an epidemic. It was just China. Now, initially, right away, when this epidemic began, Kim was the first nation to say nope and say, we're done with the back and forth travel. That's not happening. He shut it down. Now, I think this motherfucker has played Plague Inc. And I think he understands the Madagascar protocol because he is living it. So the first thing he does is he says, no more travel with China. We need to secure our border. That's not happening. Then he hears that people maybe are slipping through the border, so he starts to spray every fucking road. Then he comes up with another policy. Instead of all these other countries that are going with 14-day quarantine periods, instead of all these other countries that are allowing international trade to go through without any real regulation, he puts into place two different policies. The first, all packages, all imports that come into North Korea will be held at a facility for 10 days and decontaminated before they're allowed to be used or sent on to whatever area or person that ordered them. Second is, any person who is not North Korean that comes to North Korea must now go through a mandatory, not 10-day, not 14-day, not 24-day, a mandatory 30-day quarantine. So why is it our boy here, Kim, is the first one to shut those fucking borders, the first one to put in a quarantine disinfection procedure for packages and imports, and the first one to put into place a 30-day quarantine? Didn't everybody tell me that North Korea was the worst country in the world? Oh, they don't know what they're doing. They're starving to death. They only eat rice. They're all stupid. Because he seems to be the only one right now that has any common fucking sense. He seems to be the only one that recognized that, hey, shit's about to hit the fan. Maybe I should start planning for it. You know, there's even a document going around, and I can't verify if it's real or not, where he's already named his potential successor. So he's preparing for every bad scenario he can right now to have things in place to deal with this. So let me ask this to, I'm American, let me ask this to the American government. Why is your response to the coronavirus, COVID-19, the Wu flu, why is your response to it worse than the response that North Korea has to it? Why are you lagging behind in protocols and practices and they're excelling at it? Why is North Korea doing better at it than America is? You know, if Kim had a Twitter account, I think this is the point where he'd start firing shots at Trump for all those jokes for all those years. You're like, oh, your borders are still open, are they? Oh, that's cute. Oh, 14-day quarantines. How quaint. How adorably quaint that is, Donald. They don't call it Best Korea for nothing, apparently. Look at that little cherub face. Now, I don't know what's going on in there. I mean, there was a rumor that somebody was suspected, a North Korean was suspected of having the disease, and went out in public when he shouldn't have. So what did Kim do? Did he give him a slap on the wrist and tell him no? He shot him in the fucking head. They were there. They went to public when they were supposed to be in quarantine, immediately summarily executed on the spot. Dousing his roads with chemicals. Yeah, he's not fucking around. I know this guy has played Plague Inc. I fucking know he has. And he's basically probably played it on like Mega Brutal or whatever. And he's flipped it around. He's not the player anymore. He's the the AI, the CPU. So now he's he's a computer opponent. He's using all their moves against this disease. So when the world burns and everything is reduced to ash and nobody is left, there will be one pudgy little cherub and his country full of people that'll be the lone survivors in it all. And that country will be North Korea. Because apparently they're just not putting up with any shit. You know, interestingly, the Red Cross put in like some kind of emergency petition with the UN to go to North Korea because they're so worried about them. Don't trust them, Kim. They're trying to trick you. They're probably members of that South Korean cult. Don't trust them. All right? You turtle up. That's the fucking strategy. You're a Plague Inc. player. You know what the deal is. Coof-pilled? Yes, Chad. He's coof-pilled. Oh, man. You know, let's take a look at the map. Let's take a look at the map and see just how awful this is today. Just the amount of countries. I mean, you should be able to tell from the picture, but I think just kind of going over the totals of what they're at least sitting at now kind of gives you an idea of the spread and the growth of this around the world. Let's see. Go to BNN tracker or BNO tracker here. Should be up. Yep. Okay. So 80,000 infected worldwide, 2,700 deaths. We know most of the Chinese stats. I don't believe them anymore. But again, remember that story? They said the cured are now actually not cured at all. So they have 27,000 Wuhan Wangs out there giving the gift to their neighbors. So really, the only outcome of this disease, if that story is true, is death or reinfecting other people. So you either die or you make other people or death or you reinfect them. That's your two choices. South Korea, nearly 1,000 infected, 11 dead. There's Italy. Now this is really weird. South Korea only has 11 dead and 3 times the amount of infected that Italy does. So they're dropping like flies in Italy. Japan's at 161. Iran shooting up, and I guarantee you because of that election, we're going to see big numbers in Iran. Singapore, even though it's got a great healthcare system, it still has cases popping up. It used to be like 84, 85. Now it's up to 91. Now let's look at all these new countries that have joined the Friendship Brigade. Here we go with Israel with 2, Lebanon with 1, Afghanistan with 1, Austria's got 2, Croatia, Switzerland, Algeria, and before that, of course, Belgium. And Sweden is on the list now. Forgive me. Maybe I fucked that up. But there you are. There's our map of all the sick people, all the infected, dead people. Not sure why it's pointing me to Germany. Oh my God, am I giving away my location? That's right. I'm coming to you live from... Where am I coming to you live from? From Göppingen. BNO's doxed me, guys. They've got my map location. I live in Göppingen. Hopefully none of these infected get to me. Pretend you didn't see that. Let's pretend we didn't see that. And then, of course, all the deaths and new cases today. Still out there, still spreading, country to country, growing every day. Just growing every day. Somebody suggested a battle royale. I don't know how that's going to go. Okay, let's see here. And I see the super chats. I will get to those. I'm sorry. I know I'm behind. I usually try to like front load the stream because people bitch if I answer super chats. So I do the stream first, then I do the super chats next, and I go through all of them. But that is our update today. I just wanted to talk about it because 3 big things have happened. One, we have to worry about people that have recovered still being infectious. That is a big fucking issue. 2, the CDC and state governments and other governments around the world are basically telling you to prepare. They're doing it very diplomatically and they're doing it in a very political way, but don't be one of those people that ignores it. They're telling you to prepare. So you better pay attention and start really putting some effort into it. And number 3, based on just everything going on with the world markets and everything else, people are scared, and they're going to start doing runs on things when they start to get scared. So if you start seeing more cases popping up, there are going to be runs on grocery stores, runs on masks, runs on weapons. So you don't want to be behind everybody else. Now, I don't know where it's going to go, but it seems to be spreading pretty fast in Italy, Iran, and South Korea. Maybe they manage it. Maybe this really, when April comes, it all stops, but I don't see that happening. I see it growing every day. Her power is just unstoppable. I think I had another image too for a background. What was the other one? There we go. You just can't stop her. Just out there spreading the gift, giving the gift of airborne AIDS. Airborne AIDS that you fart out your ass for 200 meters. Who makes that bioweapon? Who sits down in a laboratory and says, you know what I'm going to make? I'm going to make airborne AIDS that you shit out your ass and creates fart plumes that infect giant areas of people. Like, that's just weird. That's some dude that's got a brap fetish. That's some dude that's got a lot of time to kill on his hands. That's decided that that's the route he's going to go with it. So with that, I think we'll close out the stream proper. I'll get to the Super Chats. We'll get to the Super Chats now. But my final words as you go off to do your daily thing, just pay attention to what's going on and consider getting some basic necessities. That doesn't mean go overboard and buy crazy shit, but some basic things so you're not stuck and left behind when shit hits the fan. Because that's the worst situation to be in. You saw what it looks like in South Korea. You saw what it looks like in China. You're seeing what it looks like in Italy when it happens. Don't let that be you. Don't be the guy stuck in line to get a mask with 1,000 other potential sick people. Don't be the person fighting somebody to get a fucking head of lettuce at the grocery store. Don't be the dude that has to drive through fucking gridlock to go to the, the fucking gun store to get ammo. Just do some basic shit ahead of time. And then, you know what? If it passes over, whatever. You got a mask, some extra ammo, and a head of lettuce. But if it doesn't, you got a little something to survive on. So let's address those questions now. Let me put the thing up. There we go. Eat more bats. Somebody in chat said, yeah, that's what you want to go. You want to do that. You want to eat those bats. Don't be a bigot. Let them spit in your mouth. Okay, let me. And also, I start from the first one and go on. So if you recently chatted, it's going to be a little while till I get to it, but I will get to it. So let's start with the first here. From Drew Durant, thanks, I appreciate all you do. From Tom Lavelle, hail Corona Chan. Veggie Bad, this whole situation clearly shows mankind's arrogance in thinking we control nature. Well, I mean, that would considerably be the point. You'd be on point if it's natural. If it turns out it's natural, great. But I still say this is lab-made. It just doesn't feel natural to me. But if you mean control nature as in once it's out there and acts like a virus would act and you can't control it, sure. From Point Curation, encourage companies to let you work from home and take sick time if you have symptoms. Don't risk infecting others or acquiring a secondary infection. Yeah, I'd also add to that, don't go to places that have a huge draw for tourists. So stay away from something that brings people in from out of town. Try to avoid large crowds. Try to avoid the fucking airport. Jesus, that's like a death sentence. Spaced you with a pile of shit picture. Awesome. Medicare's Lunicorn Archive. South Korean health officials leading SK's fight against Wu flu is an infected member of the Shinji death cult. Look it up. I told you, motherfuckers, that this Shinji death cult shit. Where's that goddamn? Where's the? He strikes again. Okay, come on. So not only are they connected to outbreaks in 2 countries, not only do they have church locations in almost every infected area around the world, but they're also on the team that's investigating the infection? This is a bit too coincidental even for me. From Autism Forums, Jimbo, about 2 years ago, someone super chatted about how you changed his life forever, and I haven't been able to not laugh about it when I think of it. I'm glad you got a chuckle out of it. From Mario Carter 13, the real origin is Hillary's 2016 goofing fit. You think that's what it is? Goofing fit, or a coughing fit, pants of shit? Did we curse? Did we meme into reality a plague based on her shitting herself? Yeah, actually, now that I think about it, you're forgetting the second part. Yeah, coughing fit, pants of shit. And this disease gives you coughing fits, and your fecal spray from your ass plumes infects people. This all connects to Hillary. Maybe that's why they murdered Seth. Maybe that's why Epstein was taken care of. From Name, Corona again. Fuck this, I'm unsubscribing, I'm done. Well, good luck in the post-apocalypse. Doc Window Licker. Jim, it's only transferable during its asymptomatic phase with a 28-day incubation cycle that can reinfect the same host multiple times. Flu bro. Chill out. From the Dating Persona. Jim, I'm an Aussie and work in health and safety. The Australian Institute of Health and Safety are running a coronavirus pandemic seminar next week. Sounds like a smart thing to do to get prepared. From Baronets. Hey, Jim, got married this Saturday. Wife is pregnant. On Sunday, my 2 bosses came back from Italy. Half of the office is going home. Legit scared that this will hit Poland now. No control here. The bosses wanted to test themselves, wanted to pay. Got told to fuck off by the system, that there's no virus, and they can go to work. Our healthcare system is fucked as it is. If shit hits, we're insta-dead. Well, yeah, and the thing is, if it's got a 24-day incubation period, you're never going to know when it's going to go tits up, are you? That's the craziest thing. From Peach Fish, people goofing and dying, media and government lying, it's almost enough to drive one berserk. From Mike Mnemonic, are you ever going to marry Jade? Oh, I don't know. That's a mystery. Am I ever going to do it? Boy, wow, I wonder. From Patre Speaks, the more this pans out, the more this looks like how Phazon acts in Legend of the Galactic Heroes. The Shinji cult are the terrorists. Rubinsky is just a J. From the Red Pill Nation, prep now. There's still time. Get canned meats, no cooking required. Water 24 gallons, P100 particulate, filter mask, gloves, goggles, medical supplies. For weapons, anything you can get. Harbor Freight has gas masks for $17. From Sean Turner, member only stream when? Also call your mom. Members only, the little end of the month thing will probably be on, let me see, the 29th. From Death Green Horse, another little sticker there that says cool, all right. Blue Satoshi, Bob Iger just got kicked from being CEO of Disney. Did he? Did his evil powers grow so much that they couldn't contain it anymore? From the Red Pill Nation, leaked number by medical staff, 6,700 cases in the U.S. I would actually not doubt that. Do you mean, do you mean people under self-quarantine? Because that's about the number that's in California right now. Or do you mean an actual verified they have it, 6,700 cases? From Sus, should I switch my major from secondary education to massage therapy? Also, call your mother. She's proud of you and all you do. Well, I don't know. How good are you at giving hand jobs? Because if you go into massage therapy, you're going to need to give quite a few happy endings. From Ken, I'm a nursing student. I was just informed the clinics in my area are preparing for coronavirus. We don't know if bleach or sanitizer kills it, and it destroys all systems. RISP is just first to go. From Hans Handsome, an Asian accent. Hey, big boy, done fucka my kung flu. I'm guessing you wanted me to do an Asian accent, but I don't know if I can actually do one. At least not without getting hit. For being terribly racist. Justin Trudeau will break through this window in blackface to teach me a lesson about bigotry. From Point Curation, 3M 6800 mask plus 3M P100 filters. I guess is the combo they're going for. Doc Window Liquor. I, for one, can't wait to see the light leave my children's eyes. Thank you, Ching Chong, for sharing your delicious bat soup with us. From James Beanick, Creamy Corona, Kumi's Woo. The Madness 36. Ironically, it's the Woo flu that claimed Boogie 2988 before the diabetes could rip in Batteroni. Moderator Marcy, it's just Koof, bro. Nothing to see here. Yeah, I wonder what Eugene's up to. I heard he's having a meltdown right now. You know, our boy Eugene, which is where the it's just the flu bro shit comes from. He's been through quite a bit of a shit for the last month. Not only is everybody mocking him and he's blocking everybody left and right, but apparently other doctors on Twitter told him to kill himself and let them have them. They didn't just tell him to kill himself, they want to harvest his organs, and he didn't take that very well. So every once in a while I'll see a screen cap of him just screaming about the flu, but I think he's close to ripping his hair out at this point. From Alan Down Under, that lying boomer from the last stream has a retard husband as well. He asked to ride shotgun in the ambulance to the hospital. Google NPR Jerry Goldman coronavirus should be the first link. Yeah, if you're talking about the husband and wife, yeah, I said they're both pieces of shit. They're the ones that lied about the being clear, right? Where they told people, no, we don't have the virus. We're clear. We're good to go. Absolute bullshit. From the Red Pill Nation, possible case fatality of 3%. 1 in 100 people will die. If it spreads, and it spreads in U.S., 9 million people will die. Crash, incoming, withdraw cash now. Well, here's the thing when they're calculating fatality rate that I'm curious about. If the hospitals become overwhelmed and they don't have enough ICUs, beds available to put people on respirators, and if the people on respirators need at least 30 days to be on a respirator, won't that fatality rate naturally shoot up beyond what the disease would cause by itself with treatment? Because now the hospitals can't treat you. So there must be a way of calculating that. There's got to be a formula out there that they use when they're looking at diseases to calculate not just the base fatality rate, but fatality rate once the medical system is overwhelmed. From Heavy Slash, Jimbo, how long till China nukes their own people? Is there going to be a bright light over Wuhan? I don't know. From Sean Brennan, I live 30 miles away from a Honda plant in a Korean-populated suburb. On top of that, I'm training a Chinese intern. How screwed am I? Well, Sean, it's been nice knowing you. We'll always remember the donation. From moderator Marcy, we should have listened. The lights are going out. It's all because of some Chinaman got peed on by a bat. Yet let's not forget, that is the truth. Shout out to Medicare Fembot, T-Clips, and Full Blast Forever. From Overman, say my name, Jim. Say it. From Honky Kong, Koof Koof, From QWERTY, happy year of the rat. You know the apocalypse is near when a Chinaman does honest marketing. From Mark C, good thing that bun didn't come from McDonald's Canada. It might have had 2 pounds of cream cheese on it. That sounds absolutely fucking wretched. Did they put cream cheese on their fucking McDonald's hamburgers? That really sounds awful. From the Red Pill Nation, the markets will crash. CDC is refusing to test people who claim they have the virus. U.S. government is activating maintenance and contingency plans. Prep now. There was one from the Reluctant Realist, but it's redacted by Google moderator team, so I'm going to guess it was a doozy of a message, and that donation has now gone to some charity. Elizabeth Varing, whereas Alexandro at Louder Than Love, hashtag Hoffman Body Count. From Brandon, Conspiracy Theory for you, Jim. Some Muhammad koofed on his camel, and now camels are super spreaders in the Middle East. Wasn't MERS related to camels? I could almost swear there was SARS and then MERS was in the Middle East, and I think it was somehow connected to camels. Part of the spread of it went from bats to camels to people, I think. From Maggie Rose, has the CDC truly extricated its cranium from its rectum? Not yet, but it's getting there. From Epic Yoshi, hello, Papa Jim. Hope you're doing well. So far I am. Just waiting for the show to begin. From Sword and Scale, San Francisco just declared a state of emergency, even though there are no confirmed cases there. Yep, I've noticed that in California, quite a few of the cities are declaring these different, some say it's a state of emergency, some are raising the alert level, and they're saying, oh, we're only doing it to prepare. We're not saying something bad has happened yet. Loads of shit. Loads of shit. I think they know it's coming, or it's already there, and they're shitting themselves. From a black guy, pay pigs, rise up. From Permafrost, me Chinese, me smart guy, me make everybody die. James Beanick, I love Israel and the Jews, woo! From Double Dash, remember, koofs and wheezes spread Chinese diseases. Are we going to have to start making posters for these? Like wartime propaganda? Is the government going to go for that? From Skig, you've been completely consumed by Corona Chan. Is there no other topic you want to cover publicly anytime soon? Absolutely not. Why would I not want to cover this? You've got probably one of the greatest events. I can guarantee you this century, this will be one of the bigger events that will be talked about. It could die right here today, and it still has had enough of an impact and is still interesting enough of a story that they're going to make stupid fucking movies about it, TV specials about it. People are going to probably base video games about it. You're going to hear people giving you their 30, 40 years from now, their I survived Corona Chan stories. I was sent to the Koof camps and crawled my way out of an oven. That's going to happen from the Chinese people that are sitting in Wuhan right now. I guarantee you. How could you not be consumed by this? This is fucking fascinating. From Honky Kong, Texan here. Just heard there's 6 reports in San Antonio, Texas. It's a major business hub for the Asian communities. Rip and pepperoni, my fellow Koofers. I believe one of them was from Japan. It's split up. 5 were from Japan and like the ship itself, and they all got sent to, I think, the military base down there. Is that what you're talking about? Those 6? From Victor Phantasm, boss, where do we all meet after the apocalypse to form a tribe of V8 rating motorheads like Mad Max? I don't know, man. I don't know. What's a good place to meet up in this country? What's the safe place? What's a safe city to go to? I don't even know what to tell you. Shinji cult. Let me take down the Shinji cult picture here. There we go. Okay. From Toll Collector, Rip Italy, press 1 for outro song. Alessandra Mussolini, Tokyo Fantasy, who said, better a fascist than a faggot. I don't think I've ever heard that song before. From Overman, would Weinstein diddle our girl? I don't think Weinstein's going to be doing much. Wasn't the last time he was seen in public going to court using a walker? He's either faking being ill or somebody took a fucking pipe to his knees. From /.-121, your hat broke on the first day I had it. Well, see, that's how you sell more hats. Every hat you buy lasts another day. First hat breaks on the first day. Second hat lasts you 2 days. So you just got to keep buying them until you hit that 1,000-day hat. I have faith in you. From Mario Carter 13, San Fran learning why India has designated shitting streets. From Titan Ravenscar, prepper boards are claiming that the credit card companies are lowering limits ahead of panic buying. That wouldn't surprise me, actually. From Beguile Me, the Dow nosediving almost 2,000 points in 2 days. I'm down 50K. Hold me, Jim, I'm scared. How did you find yourself in this position? You should have seen it coming. How did you not know this was coming? Shit, after the first day, were you expecting it just to bounce back? Like they're going to just pump the markets to keep them afloat? They'll probably try tomorrow, but oof. The Red Pill Nation. Markets have been pumped since September. Now the virus adding to the crisis, Chinese firms only have 30 days to cash left, financial analyst says. Oh, so it's getting worse out there for them. From Psycho, first reported case in Switzerland is in the city I live in. F in chat for my fellow Koofers, Koof Koof. Well, now that is tragic. Can we get an F in chat for Psycho? Because they're fucked. They've got a confirmed Koofer in the city. And I don't think they're going to make it to the next stream if there is one. If the world doesn't implode by them, I think they're a goner. Ripping pepperoni, really. What are you going to do? Yes, you do hear a little bit of koofing coming from Jim's voice, but thankfully, that's just because I'm a smoker and we koof all the time. I think we're inoculated against this. I think it's all that tar in our lungs is like a coat that protects our beautiful lungs from this terrible disease. From Leather Collar, it's 9 a.m. here in the land down under. Hope you're doing all right and have bought your shotgun. I am prepped and ready to go. From Melissa Beckham, I can't get enough of this nothing burger. Also, an Asian man koofed on me. How dead am I? 100% guaranteed. /.-121. P.S. This isn't a too bad of a time to stream for the UK. Yeah, it's hard finding a proper time for everybody. But I throw in random late night streams to try to do that. From Point Curation, it's not a pandemic. It's just a worldwide epidemic. Thank you, Who, for clearing that up. From Dennis, man, I've spent all my money on Spam and bottled water. Oh, you should have diversified a little, thrown a little rice and beans in there. From Psycho, oh, and I've been starting to feel kind of sick. Probably have the virus already, but it's just a flu, bro. Koof, just a flu. Well, the two most reported symptoms, I believe, were a very dry, not a wet cough, not like I got the cold cough, but like a dry, painful, hacking cough, and a fever that you will not miss. We're talking like a fever, I believe, of like 102. So if you get a fever of 102 and you've got a painful, hacking, dry cough, then yeah, rip. Rip and pepperoni. From LaBones, the song is 3C2 by Love Solfeg. Now stop asking. Exploding Pretty at work. Jim, check out Chubby Emu's video on Corona Chan. It explains exactly how fucked smokers are. Praying for you, dude. I disagree. All right, my precious cigarettes will protect me. From Sean Haruki, the only way to ignore the Chinese plague is by playing Romance of the Three Kingdoms 14. a Japanese game about Chinese history, translated into English when it comes out Friday. Well, I'm glad your company's game is coming out, and we all look forward to it, John. Have gun will travel. I need a new car. Here's hoping this'll drop prices. From Joel Currents. Any recommendations on places to propose in Minnesota? I wanted to get married before the world ended, but hey, what can you do? Maybe I can cash in on second plague-induced housing market crash in 2021. You know, that does bring up a good point. I mean, honestly, it seems, at the very least, that this kills old people. I mean, it kills everybody, but it does kill old people particularly bad. So the housing market probably is going to it's going to change. You're going to have a lot of boomers dropping dead, and either their kids inherit the houses or it defaults to the bank. So, yeah, I mean, if you survive this, probably great housing market. Like in 3 or 4 years, it would be a great time. From Biddy, someone in my town just came back from China and went to the doctor with a coof. Nice knowing you, Jim. Rip me. From Christian Soto, buy some ammo. Government won't be there to help you. We'll be covering our own butts. Random Byzantine guard. I bought 5 pounds of rice today. I'm coof ready for this coof. Nothing burger. From Lord EA432. Take this money before my lungs explode. From some beatard. It's just a coof, bro. Feeder Jersh. From Elizabeth Bathory. If nothing happens, I'm breaking your legs, Jim. Well, I don't know how you can look at everything that's already happened and declare nothing has. I think we passed the point of happening. Things have already happened. We're in the middle of them happening. The question isn't will it or won't it happen. It's how much is it going to happen. How much of a happening is going to happen is the question of the day. From I Hate Yankees. Corona Chan loves CBT. Sword and Scales. Hey, Jim, did you know you can buy freeze-dried bats on Etsy? If you're feeling under the weather, why not make some nutritious soup? Sounds delicious. I'll have to jump right on it. Renegade Shuriken just stocked up on a ton of food. Bought masks. Now I'm drowning in bottled water, vitamins, and medicine for days. My waifu pillows and I will survive. Best of luck and Godspeed to you. From Spencer Fletcher. Hey, Jim. Canadians' national news media released a video taking shots at who? In China. Look up CBC, what went wrong in the early days. Oh, now everybody's going to become a critic after the media kissed the ass of China for the last fucking month. Now they're having their doubts, are they? From Bad Nut. Open the bunker door, Jim. Let us in, help. I'm sorry, the bunker stays closed. You're on your own. From Torpedo. Some oil money from a northern white spot on the map. Stay safe. From Richard Grubber. Everything good here in Florida. Uh-oh. I'm koofing. From Big Mike. See, now you got me koofing too. From Big Mike. Someone needs to discipline this girl. She's already massively impacted Valve's index restock. I need my virtual anime titties, Jim. Everybody needs their virtual anime tits. I understand your pain. From Ninja Work 111. About the couple who faked their way on the death ship, or off the death ship. Would you not try to save yourself and Jade from a plague ship where you might die? I can understand. Yes, I would try to save myself from a plague ship, but I probably wouldn't try to save myself in a way that's going to kill a bunch of other people. It seems kind of cuntish. I mean, if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. I can't imagine myself, I don't know. I couldn't live with the fact that I infected hundreds of people and got them killed. People with families and kids and wives and husbands. Especially when I'm a 60-year-old bitter bitch like she was. And, probably could have just been like, I'll let the young ones live. We've got to have a Titanic mentality. Women and children first. Well, maybe not women, but at least save the kids. From Stupid Monkey Zero. Do you love Wuhan Wanginians? From Kumbala 1. Basically execute infected. That's the only way. From Slamurai Jamdown. Who needs Typhoid Mary when you have these goddamn koofing Karens? Shekel Meister. 2 neg tests and you are out. 30 to 50% working chance. So 25 to 49% chance you are out and still have the virus. Anyone should have seen it coming. CCP is just calling everyone cured to stop panic. From William J. Nothingburger Esquire. Fantastic name. Hey, Jim, I got my rice, beans, water, and ammo. Apart from a hazmat suit, what am I missing to survive in the end times? Well, with the suit, you're probably going to want a mask. I'd say would be one of the top priorities. But it's got a good start. Lords of the Voids, thank you for the sticker. From Speaky Freedom, Corona is said to make males infertile. That's true. It is speculated in some papers that it attacks the testes as well as some other organs. So your lung, your heart, I believe they said kidneys, testes. It's fucking hidden everything, isn't it? Ah, man. From Purple, I'm scared. Hold me, Jim. Please protect me. I can't hold you, man. I need to keep that hazmat suit on tight and clean. I can't be touching people. From Bob Jones, reinfection possible. Look up antibody-dependent enhancement. SARS does this. Possible sister Corona Chan can as well. From Unstable, right-wing BRAP squads incoming. From Blake Foley, the memes are becoming, and there's an immigrant link. Are we talking about BRAPs of death now? Should I put that back up? Where the fuck is that picture? I love that this was something that somebody put out there. That your ass is going to cause the apocalypse. Okay, I think I read that one. Stupid Monkey Zero. I was hanging out in a van down by the river, but I was still infected. From Sibba Hill, infection by pull my finger. Dyslexia I have. We're overreacting. Remember growing up when you'd get the flu and got to miss school so you could be intubated for 28 days as fluid filled your lungs. I mean, I remember the last flu season where 900 million people were on lockdown, the stock market crashed, and people were rioting in grocery stores. It's a typical year, really. From RE4 Merchant, my boss just came back from China. How dead am I? Well, he'll be deader first, if it makes you feel any better as a consolation prize. From Wayne Crane, here's some super berries for doing the Lord's work. Permafrost Daily reminder, Italians are not white. I forgot. I forgot that's one of the things going around. It can't kill white people. Well, we'll have to wait. I don't know what group you're waiting for. 98% Bavarian DNA? What are we waiting for that confirms white people can die? I don't know. But I think the Italians have brought that to the attention of everyone. From Jimmy Russell, I live in Malta, which has 5,000 people per square mile. When shit hits the fan, it's going to become Diamond Princess the country. Please pray for me to escape this hell. From Chad Carmichael, is this monograph an Agent 19's bioweapon? Yeah, they've been working on it the whole time, apparently. From Mahalo Viking, xenophobia saves lives. From Solid Carrot, someone better tell UKIP murderer Carl Benjamin to stop sniffing farts and go read more Locke. His smooth brain can come up with a 20-year plan. From The Illuminated One, the great filter solution to the Fermi paradox. From Jay, I told a boomer how bad it was. He laughed at me and complained how expensive the Chinese medicines got. Time to thin the herd, maybe. Well, I think they're going to be complaining about those medicines if things keep going the way they're going. You know, that FDA article mentioned 20 providers that they were worried weren't going to be... Oh, did I show that? Maybe I didn't show that. Oh, I think I might have skipped that one. Well, there's an article out there from the FDA talking about how 88% of our medical ingredients are sourced outside of the country, and that how they've already had concerns about 20 specific drugs, and they're talked to 180 different manufacturers. So your boomer friend there that you had that conversation with has a surprise in store. From the Red Pill Nation, 380,000 students from China flew back to the U.S. CDC says we only have 18 cases of the virus. It's a statistical impossibility only to have 14. We're toast. From Cupcake Pug Dog, never forget the 2 million Israelis who died from coronavirus. From Augmenter, Corona means crown in Latin. China is the great mountain burning with fire. Korean death cult leader claims to be Satan plus Jesus at same time. Buckle up. Oh, you got it. We're dealing with some heavy shit. Got a lot of energy behind this one. From Ethereal, in stocks, green means going down, red rising up. Exactly. Thank you for that financial forecast. I feel much more secure. From the from the Crapola, when are you going to make more videos? I don't know. I mean, I'll probably start filming dead bodies in the street if you're looking forward to that. Give it like 3 weeks. I'll start getting out there, doing some IRL videos and just filming all the dead boomers piling up on the road. Maybe turn it into like a game. Try to find some whimsical way of doing it. Holy shit, you know what I'm going to do? When all the dead people start piling up outside, I'm going to make my independent homage to Weekend at Bernie's. I'm going to puppeteer their dead bodies and I'm gonna make a full fucking movie out of it. As the remaining family members in the bunker sob. Why would this man do this to these dead? Why would he take grandma and stick a pole up her ass and puppeteer her and then put it on YouTube? What is his fucking problem? What kind of a monster does that? From MF Chicken Flipper, well, it looks like working at Amazon was a mistake, especially if you're in the warehouse. Invictus 1, thank you, Kung Flu. I'm going to buy stocks for cheap because of you. From Big Island Kabuto, deep and sincere thanks for covering this. What's your worst case and best case scenario weather forecast for the next 6 months? Best wishes to everyone in the chat. Well, okay, my best case scenario is that the CDC's most optimistic model proves to be true, that it starts to die off, the spread of it dies off in April, that governments can either deal with people reinfecting other people or just disconfirm that they find out that they were wrong and that you can't still get people sick even after you're cured. Those two things would be major. And that a vaccine would be ready by the time it would seasonally reappear again. My worst case scenario is that it continues to spread in waves, that clusters continue to pop up because of international travel, that trade is affected, that the markets continue to be affected, that people start to mass panic and get angry and start raiding shelves, that it continues on throughout the year, that the Olympics get interrupted, that the elections get interrupted, and that people descend into madness. I don't know. I mean, you can really take it anywhere you want to take it, I suppose. From Oypot Stiven, I'm ready. Come take me to Wuhan land, Corona-chan. From Pizza, Jim, I'm on a plane with people koofing. What do I do? Well, you run up and kiss them. All right? That's how you conquer xenophobia. Fucking bigots. From The Dashing Rogue, sick man, dead man, knocking at the door. Plague man, Chinaman, knock no more. Dyslexia I have. It's sad that people were more upset with Blizzard and Disney cucking to China than people are to Who doing the same. Gamers rise up. From IT Weeb, a Category 5 hurricane hitting the U.S. is nothing because it doesn't kill as many people as the flu. That's some Eugene logic. Well, that's very correct. I'm sure Eugene would say that. That sounds like something Eugene would shit out of his ass. In fact, I bet if you went and looked at his Twitter timeline, that's up there right now. From Sebastian Anon, Koof Koof Jim, I'd love to see a Photoshop of that Nothing Burger pic with Winnie the Pooh character. Koof Troop, rise up. From Overman, do you think they're hiding U.S. infection rates? You know, yes. Yes, I do. If you want an honest answer, yes, I do believe that. We are the remnants of the white apocalypse. Has Chan visited God's chosen yet? Yes, Israel is infected. They had 2 cases, I believe, that were transferred from the Diamond Princess, and then they had 18, out of a group of South Korean cultists that showed up, 18 were infected, and they visited multiple tourist sites. So I have a feeling Israel is definitely getting hit with this like everybody else. The one that surprised me was Lebanon. Not sure exactly how they got hit, but they did. Mario Carter at 13. Trump wrapped in China to start Phase 2 negotiations. That's a very brave plan considering Phase 1 looks like it's about to implode. From Chingy Bingy, hey Jimbo Jim, what are the chances of total Asian extinction? Hashtag Corona for life. I'd say 0. It's 0 chance of that happening. But Asians probably going to take a pretty hard hit since it originated in that region. From the Keemstar 27, going to PAX East for 4 days, even after Sony, Facebook, and Square Enix backed out. I'll be koofing real hard with all these Boston China mans. From Feel Good Always 990. Is this what Plague Inc. on easy mode is like? Just a bunch of world organizations calling everyone bigots for being safe and scared. Yes, it is. From Gold 818. Just wait until the summer when one Chinese kid sneezes in the wave pool at the water park and infects everyone. From Sucka Madik. Very clever name there. The more people who die, the cheaper my $1 million home becomes. You go Corona-chan. That is, unless you own a house, in which case your property value will be depreciated by the suddenly flush market of houses that are all going for dirt cheap, well below their actual value. From Errant Vice, I'm writing the longest original fiction in history, 21 million words by the end, and I have Jim as a cameo character, a cyberpunk weatherman who goes full Howard Beale one morning. In 3089, great guy. Also, James Drake is gay. Well, I look forward to reading the 21 million words that you come up with. I'm going to have time in my bunker once everything goes down. No electricity, so I'll try to download it before that happens. From Jockey Grassman, Shalom, the Red Pill Nation. 1-2, flu comes for you. 3-4, it's at your door. 5-6, we fall like bricks. 7-8, it's too late. 9-10, get it again. You know, we do need a plague song. We need a children's plague song. Ring Around the Rosie, that's about a disease. So what is Corona Chan's Ring Around the Rosie? There's got to be one. There has to be one that somebody's created. And if they haven't yet, come up with one. Something that's got a little zazz to it. Now, that's not bad, but that's just Freddy Krueger. You've just taken Nightmare on Elm Street. We need original work to honor our little Wu-Flu bringer. From Ano Naimi, tell Asuku that mods are gay. Oh, well, there you go. They know now. The Red Pill Nation. Keck, hear my plea. Spread it faster. La DD. From Wildburn, Owen says, save yourself by drinking turpentine. Retards rise up. I would not recommend drinking turpentine. That's just me. I mean, maybe I don't have the great insight. Of course, I'm not infested with parasites, so I don't know what to do, I guess. If I had parasites, I probably wouldn't drink turpentine either. But I'm not a medical expert, so you probably shouldn't listen to me. From Not to Zeech, thank you, globalism, for an international recession and disease caused by your pursuit to get cheap labor and open borders for maximum shekel profit. From Wasp86, seriously, consider quitting my retail job because of Corona Chan. No way some old Chinese man is goofing on me. From Bender, Jim, I drew Corona Chan and Plague Chan for your viewing entertainment. Check it out on Twitter. Definitely will do. From Jean Arc, just take me already, you stupid virus. I'm ready to become a statistic. Satan's advocate. Hopefully I live to see the global homo establishment die. Been buying food, bought some copper water jugs. They help purify water overnight. You know, I've been curious about this. An Israeli company said that they had a new approach to making masks that was supposed to be super effective. It's a cotton weave that is injected during the weaving process with copper particles, and it's supposed to be super effective against all viruses and better than any N95 mask. They claim they're working with Hong Kong government, and that Hong Kong had abandoned N95 and adopted their new mask as a standard. And I don't know enough to know if that's even true or not, that if you can put copper particles in a weaved blend like that and have it work. But I guess we'll find out if a bunch of people die. From some guy recently read an article where Iran called the health reaction old-fashioned. Then the health minister gets the virus. It was pretty funny. I agree. It's pretty goddamn funny. Ninja Work 111. Ridiculous name, Jack Fist. From Lord Moopy. Just got back from the dock. Took twice as long because my boss got back from China a week before the news broke. Had to answer a ton of questions. From Riri121. I began by stocking up after your first stream, and people teased me for buying masks and food supplies. Now people are asking me where they can get the masks. You should tell them they can get the masks at the Avenue, at the cross section of Fuck Street and U Avenue. That's where they can get their masks. And then you put up a middle finger and laugh at them. That's what you do. From Mateo, you have to get on Bat Cult Shinji. Colonel Meme, sorry. In Australia, big show-off. A vac from Wuhan, sent to Xmas Island for 14 days. Don't worry about the 28-day possibility. Off you go. No worries. From Ron Perriman, the government health official in SK leading the fight against Corona Chan is a member of the Shinji death cult, and he's also infected. What a shock. From Sean Ark, watch Eve Abridged. It's great redub of Eve where Shinji is crapped on by everyone, and he sits around listening to Linkin Park. You know what? I'm actually going to check that out now. If they're just intentionally making fun of him and shitting on him, I will watch that. From ComWest 907, I ignored the racists, went right to the nearest Asian massage parlor, slapped down $100. The lady was so happy to see me, she gave me extra special treatment. Take that, racism. Now that's a learning moment. That's what I call diversity in action. From Eduardo Ramirez, damn Shinji just redeemed himself. Congrats. Mario Kart 13. Evangelion ends with orange tang. We got bat soup. From New Zen, I wonder if eating the bat soup was worth it. Did they get their wings like sweet Corona Chan? Forward Synthesis. Good thing I bought hundreds of flu masks before the disease even broke out. I hope I'm the protagonist. You just might be. From Sabre Aaron. Anyone else thinking of the virus from Resident Evil 4 and 5? What was that? That was Las Plagas, right? People are saying to spread it and join the club. One of us. I'm almost certain that was Las Plagas. I can't remember at this point anymore. I've played so many goddamn Resident Evil games at this point, like 10 of them. I can't remember the plots to more than one of them. All right, the line like Jill sandwich, shit like that sticks out, but like everything's starting to bleed together. From Common Cayman, first a cult occupying the country and now a death cult. What is wrong with South Korea? Matt Aquino, my boss is letting me wear my Israeli gas mask to work. This because the part of the building I work in is extremely dusty at most times. I'm going to survive outside my bunker and make a lot of bread. See, you got to turn lemons into lemonade. Atticus phone, hey boss. Listen to the pause button episode on the end of Evangelion. If you need a good podcast on TRS, Shinji and Eva are worse than you made it out. It's hard to imagine that he's worse than I thought of him, being a simpering, whining little cunt with no value whatsoever. Dyslexia, I have dumped Gilead. Buy VIR Biotech stock right now. I saw Gilead went down a little bit. We're still waiting for the trial results. I mean, it was useful in Washington. China took it and is trying to steal it. And who is running their own trials? And I believe the trial is like 3 weeks long, but they're already saying they're having good results. So I'm surprised Gilead's went down, but I'll look at VIR. From George Clowney, boss, your mic is off. Is my mic off right now? I'm going to have to listen to the sound. Hold on. I don't know. It could be. I had a little technical difficulty earlier, so you'll have to bear with it, with my shitty mic technology. From Chingy Bingy, Boomer Jimbo, your audio is mute. Well, I know my audio is not. I get it. I'm catching the point of the stream where there were problems. God, I keep forgetting these are time-stamped for earlier. Healthful Human, you're right, Jim. It is almost like fiction is becoming reality. Hey, wasn't that prophesized by Chris Chan? Is this the dimensional merge? Potentially. Plantation Sensation, YouTube Premium legitimately will not background play your streams. I've tested it on 5 other videos. And well, that's fine. These things happen. Usually you can just watch a replay of the stream, which most people upload. I think will let you background play that, but I don't re-upload them. Other people do, so you have to go looking. Satan's Advocate, CDC is covering up infections confirmed. Lucan, I work at a hotel and I'm a university student. How screwed am I, Jim? I'm probably more at risk, to be honest. Glib Simile, Jim, check out the 5G connection. Stay prepped, Anon. From Dr. Glitch, I have buddies stationed in Korea. Freaking out about coronavirus. Well, that's understandable. From Oipot Stiven, Corona infected your mic, Jim. You're doomed. Got him. From The Real Asami, Earth Empire was based and red pilled. From Waxican, a few streams ago, you showed a tweet by Ezra Chang talking about the Bat P. It said the bats were used for a test on lice. Got me thinking that China was going to use the lice as a vector for corona. I don't know. I think they did say they were testing it for like louse, lice, or something like that. But that is right. That was part of the article. Or the tweet quoting the article. From Wolfbane, remember the ACU kid who was quarantined released for clearing? AZ is going to be a desert of death. From Slav Supreme, did the Corona Chan cult infect Israel and purposely? Is it a 1488 from Wuhan? I don't know. I have a feeling they are, the whole cult theory. Let me bring it back to that since we'll talk about it. Where is it here? Get off Braps. Go back to Shinji. It's just very interesting that the cases explode inside South Korea from this group. And then we start to see it being transferred over to Israel. And, who knows? Maybe they are a death cult and they're traveling all over the place. The South Korean government should easily be able to look at like travel logs and see who these members are, where they went, and where they've been the last 2 weeks, and then try to see if that matches up to people getting sick, which would be wild if that were true. Then this would be the craziest shit that's ever happened. From RPGer90, Jim, San Francisco in state of emergency. From Feren, Boomer Sniffles, don't scare us Zoomers. The Wolfpack, oy vey, press B to brap on Israel. I see he wants a B for brapping on Israel. From Revision, I'm dry koofing, oh God, it hurts, koof. From Glow in the Dark, I know people who work at hospitals. Many nurses not even paying attention, not prepping at all. Going to be a bad one because of apathy. From Gold 818, to all you parents out there, don't let your kids jump in the ball pit at Chuck E. Cheese or the foam pit at Sky Zone. Oh yeah, that would be a pretty good vector for getting everybody sick. Glow in the Dark, not enough vents for 20% of the population, going to be higher death rate than 2% over lack of equipment and supplies. From Rhino 620, I live in the community in Alabama. People were pretty scared. I don't blame them. I would have been too. From Yobi Axes, the anti-MGTOW, we're all doomed. This coronavirus is going to wipe us all out in the last 2 years. We might as well just give up. The apocalypse is here right now. From Winter Wolf, g'day, Jim. Super worried because I booked a nice restaurant for my girlfriend's birthday. Problem is, my mates tell me it's staffed exclusively by yellow men. Also, have you read Stephen King's The Stand? Well, if I wanted to read something that, okay, I shit on Stephen King a lot because he can't write a fucking ending to save his life. But no, I haven't read The Stand. I watched the TV movie though. I'm not a big King aficionado. I know some people love his work. I'm not one of them. Different tastes for different people, I suppose. From Jonathan Bisiach, YouTube won't let me send super chats about events in Sydney, Australia today. So ask your Twitter friend, what a bunch of bullshit. From Ken Shin 891 in Section 8 Disease Control, Jim, send carriers to non-complacent locations. Costa Mesa was against CA being a sanctuary state, probably other stuff. Texas, big shot. I bet New York is upstate New York. From Glow in the Dark, Jade contacted me, Jim. She's worried that you might catch COVID-19. She says you already have yellow fever, and every time you go down, you eat Asian. It's true. I have an increased risk, don't I? From Aeronautical Ginger, Jim, there isn't freedom to bear arms in Germany. Therefore, after the recent shooting, they are trying to limit access to shooting ranges. You can't even touch guns in Germany anymore. Well, that sounds like it sucks. Totally not dark matter. I live in Champaign, Illinois, and our university and hotels are freaking out because we have a big Asian community, and they are all new tourists coming. That sounds like a fucking nightmare. /.-121. I'm happy time tissues will now live in the freezer. From Flortology, it seems likely the elites are intent to use this to kill off a large volume of people. Very little explanation of how this spread is so rapid with one or two individuals in each nation. Well, there are definitely super spreaders. I don't think anybody doubts that, especially with the Brit who infected, I think, 9 people, and then the South Korean woman who's a member of this cult that infected upwards of hundreds. William Iger, Julian Huxley wrote a UNESCO manifesto to depopulate the masses via dysgenics so the oligarchs could build World Heritage sites on top Jones World. From Alex Ware, I'm gonna poof. From Jason Lozano, quarantine them in the Coof Islands. Point curation, don't be embarrassed to be a prepper. Be prepared for any kind of emergency. Food, water, batteries, etc. Never know when the power or water are going to go out. Foxhound 6364, thanks for doing all these streams, Jim. I hope you keep doing them regularly. Well, at least until everything goes to shit. Kill some time. From Jessica Eustace, time to take a trip to Costco, guys. From Mr. Problematic, the movie you were referring to is the Andromeda Strain. Thank you. Yeah, I saw some other people in chat finally mentioning it. But yes, that's the movie I was trying to bring up about the scientists that get fucked and then have to be separated for the rest of their life. From Fuzzy Wuzzy Got Milk, Mountain House sells long-term rations. Don't play yourself. N95 Mask and Kelly are already flying off the shelf, and rations will be next. From Space Monkey, did you hear about the 6 people, including a deputy, that died in Georgia of complications of flu in late January? Now, I would wonder, if you were to take the time, right? If you took the time to just go through news articles from local news stations going back, let's say, January 1st, and just look for inexplicable deaths attributed to flu-like illnesses, how many you would find and what locations they would be in, and how close they are in proximity to major tourist attractions or major airports. That would be kind of fascinating to see if there's any connection. If you could go through that, you'd have to go state by state. It would take forever, but just to see, just for fun, to kill some time waiting for this to progress. From the real Asami, Menards worker here, can't tell you how many masks we got in stock and are being sold like hotcakes. It's madness. From Foregone, those morons that didn't prep a month ago, good luck. From Shekel Meister, surprised Chinese already bought them all. I know they did that in Australia and pissed off the Aussies. From Ulrich Skandavesky, jokes on everyone in Florida, all the Mexican contractors are buying them up now, lol. Well, yeah, because they know what they're doing. They know where to find them. That's the thing, right? From Prime Mover, Walmart has a secret N95 mask in the kitchen cleaning section. Nobody looks there. From the Bloody Talker, pro tip, get swim goggles. Don't want to get poop in your eyes. From AK Talk, your local fire and safety supply store is a great place to go as well, and to be fitted for a mask as well. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. From Saber Aaron, so what do you think will happen when the world accepts that China broke international law and made bioweapons? Japan World War II reenactment with a fat man and little boy. Multiple countries invade and take over and break up China. Well, I mean, let's think. What if evidence comes out that it is a bioweapon, whether intentionally or accidentally released? And let's say that we don't get the worst case scenario, but we also don't get the most optimistic scenario. So let's say we get 50 to 100,000 people killed worldwide. It's in every country. It does massive economic damage. And it fucks up 2020 and maybe even parts of 2021 as far as trade, market, and everything else goes. And then it comes out, hey, they made it, they're responsible. I think you're going to see a lot of fucking countries. I would not want to be China. It's the whole world's going to be wanting a little bit of payback after that. Now, I don't know what form that would take, but it would be a shit position to be in. From Unstable, the Baker bucket of burgers are not meat, they're black bean burgers. Jim Baker's bucket of black bean burger braps. Christopher, a woo, koof koof. Excuse me, I'm looking to lay some two-part sheetrock. Where are the Corona masks? I wouldn't say two-part sheetrock. Two-part epoxy or sheetrock, one of the two. From Joan Arc, best part of being in fire and rescue is I get my own mask, full face and half face, all the cartridges in the world, and access to a BA, one of which gives 4 hours of own atmosphere. Also my poor country, set on fire, flooded now, and a plague. Yeah, it just doesn't stop, does it? It's just a nightmare that doesn't fucking end. From Shekel Meister, let me tell you, if you live in a big city, chances are CCP already bought all N95s. If the cartridges are... Oh, what the hell? That was weird. Oh. If the Chinese hacked me, I don't know what has happened there. Hopefully I'm coming through. Let me check. Hopefully we're good. I think we're still good. Another technical glitch. I'll just start off from the beginning again. Shekel Meister, let me tell you, if you live in a big city, chances are CCP already bought all the N95s. If you want to live, buy reusable respirators and CBRN masks. Even if the cartridges are expired, there's a good chance, if they are stored properly, it can still be used for particles. All right. I think I'm good. I went out. Well, I'm not gonna go over what my preps are because I'll just be made fun of. But I'm ready. I'm ready. Godzilla could attack, and I'm fucking ready. I'm ready and raring to go. From Caleb Shaw. So do you think this is really the big one, Jim? I don't know if it's the big one, but it's definitely an event that is going to be remembered for quite a while. And like I said, you'll be watching TV, movies, and fucking reading books, and probably playing video games based on it. I can guarantee you that much. It's going to have a memorable impact. From Orias Rofokale. My friends all think I'm crazy, but they'll envy my bucket of burgers when the time comes. I told them 2 or 3 more weeks, then they'll know. From Crackbot. Lackland Air Force Base just confirmed 6 cases of coronavirus. From Alex Weston. My local walk-in center went into lockdown today. They said it was because of staff shortages as the man in the full body white suits and masks headed inside. Now how fucked am I? I'd say fairly fucked. I'd put that as fairly fucked, if I had to be honest. From Dyslexia I have. Remember to stock up on rice and beans and water so when you go around looting, I know there'll be lots of rice, beans, and water. From Renegade Shuriken, masks are almost sold out at my at what is this, Meijer store? I don't know what that is. Stock up. From Roadside Picnic, as a retail employee, I have a very distinct feeling things are going to suck for the coming weeks. Yeah, it's going to be like Black Friday every day. Enjoy that. From Jessica Eustace, in the early 1900s, LA hid the fact that the plague was spreading after a bunch of Chinese brought it over. Then came the 1906 earthquake. We never had cases of plague till then. Thanks, California. From D.I. James, hey Jim, currently going through chemo right now in the UK, so I'm going to be lucky if I can avoid this. But I'd rather this than work my job at a major airport. Press F for me, chat. Well, shit, I don't know. As part of your chemo, do they also give you because I'm almost certain interferon alpha B, or is that what it's called? Is a cancer medicine. So I don't know if you get that with chemo or not, but maybe you're already partially protected. Now you just need the AIDS medicine on top of it. From OFE, the yearning for Zion compound near El Dorado, Texas would be perfect for isolating these suspected cases. 1,700 acres, walled-off compound, lots of three-story housing. From Smug Frog, Slovak Prime Minister hospitalized near elections. Oh, fuck, I knew I forgot to talk about something. Yes, he was. And wasn't it for a high fever and upper respiratory infection? Yeah, it's hitting politicians, too. Now, I don't know if that's actually coronavirus that he has, COVID, but it's definitely something. Oh, well, we might have some breaking news here. Hold on. Let me, that can't be, let me see here. Sorry chat if things get a little glitchy for a second. I'm checking out breaking news. Otherwise people are just fucking with me, in which case, well done, because I'm actually going to go check now. Holy shit, it's on, chat. I'm sorry this came through as a fucking super chat and I didn't see it till now. I fucking apologize. Oh no, it came through. Let's, I'm going to change the banner. Hold on, let me pull this up. Where is it? Well, the world is officially fucked, chat. Here's your confirmation. Get ready. Let me just zoom in on this. Where are we? There we go. Breaking news. Brazil's health minister says a man is tested positive for corona in an initial test, but they're waiting results for a second test. If confirmed, it would be South America's first case. It's on every continent. Well, with people on it. Congratulations. We're fucked. If this thing goes through South America, we're fucked. All that optimistic timeline shit is right out the fucking window. If it's in Brazil, we are fucked. Sorry, I need a moment to collect myself as the breaking news comes in. I can see chat finally catching up. Oh, man. We were literally talking about this, about how the CDC's optimistic evaluation was based on the fact that it wouldn't be in places like South America. Fuck. And there are 260 suspected cases in Chile. That's it. It's game. Oh, it's game, folks. That's game. Count it. We done. Ding the bell. Game's over. Shit. Oh, well, where do you run now? We've got to, we need to pay real fucking close attention to Madagascar, because if they shut it down, I think that's the nail in the fucking coffin, isn't it? That's it. That's the final thing. What is Eugene going to say about this? I don't know, chat. From Crystal Morse, WNY, is done for. I'm stuck in the bathroom farting so much, bros. I just can't control my asshole right now. From Nuke the Ice Caps, if one of you a-holes infects me, I swear the first place I'm heading is the RMV. Then I will ride every public bus and train. I will spend the last of my money on Uber rides. Let's Kung Flu fight. From Glow in the Dark, Eugene on Suicide Watch, Bubblegum Gun. Remember, Goyam, only black race mixing is the cure. See, you say that now, but what if they come out and tell you that is the truth? What if they tell you the only way to survive this is to to have a little chocolate. What are you gonna do, bubblegum gun? You gonna bite that bullet? From Lang, hey Jim, talked to a real NPC today. Told me the common flu killed more people. Asked him when the last time 320 million people were quarantined. Started going off about anti-vax in the USA. You fucked with his programming. From Adam Wolfward, hey Jim, you have a bot in the chat. I'm sorry. The chat goes by fast to begin with. It's a little Wild West, isn't it? I'll see if I can handle the what is the bot saying? Is it inviting us to dirty sex? What is our bot saying in chat? It's saying North and South Poles. I don't know if that's like a double entendre that I'm unfamiliar with. I don't know. It's exciting though. I'm excited because I don't know what it is. Dyslexia I have, ironically, North Korea's isolation and somewhat self-sustainability allows them to react to this properly. We can't do the same because of my GDP. That is the downside of globalization, isn't it? And breaking up your manufacturing base, distributing it around the world, then relying on other nations for material parts and production. From NinjaWork 111, in our free society, we'd have mass panic. Dat why? KT Lando, my boyfriend works for the CDC but doesn't believe the Chinese government is lying. Should I end our relationship now or wait for the Wu flu to end us both? I would stay with your boyfriend, because when he starts panicking, at least he'll take you to the secret CDC bunker and you two can ride that out. From Oipot Stiven, Jim, I made a horrible mistake. I ordered masks from Wish Meal. Why would you ever do that? Why, you're guaranteed it's coming from China now. From Kill the Enjo Panda, do you think the population control theory was right? Sending all these sick people all over the country seems fishy. I don't know. That would be to do this kind of economic damage, and it's hard for me to believe that, to be honest. Glow in the dark corporate interests might just kill it or get millions killed because they probably weighed the value of loss of economic growth versus human lives. Guess which side they went with? I don't think we really have to guess on that, do we? From Mixstar, stuff me like a oven in 1942 Germany, you big goblin. From Das Pooch, the nerds in the Shinji cult play World of Warcraft. And they're trying to make the corrupted blood incident real. Wild times. I hate Yankees. Oh, fuck, that's right. Mardi Gras is today, isn't it? It's Mardi Gras today. If you don't play The Saints Will Never Come from Left 4 Dead 2 soundtrack, I will purposely get infected and goof on you. You know what? Maybe I'll play that. Maybe. Saber Aaron. Will you stream once you get infected? Educate us on how bad it is. Maybe you can find the cure in the secret of the potatoes and menthols. Would I stream my death? I did promise to do that, but I always pictured it be jumping into a fucking volcano. From Saber Aaron. Oh, no, I read that one. Sus, seriously, how are you prepping, Jim? Smartly. I'm prepping smartly. That's how I'm prepping. I'm not giving away my super secrets, I'm sorry. You're just going to have to take wild guesses to figure it out. Can you figure out my secret of prepping? You'll never know. All right. And again, it does this stupid thing where it bounces you back. And then I got to try to find what I've missed here. I'm sorry if I missed anybody's stuff. I hate this new fucking system that they put on the stupid fucking interface. Okay. From Solid Steak, just got my Metro 2033 looking gas mask in the mail today. Just got to get some decent filters for it. See you all in the Metro, fellas. From Epic Yoshi. Does this mean I can bang Asian hookers anymore? Or can't bang them? Yes, no, that's what that means. Or at least don't let them brap or coof on you. You'll have to fuck them with a hazmat suit on. It's like a body condom. I don't know how much you're going to enjoy it. From Andrew Thorstein, Goopening confirmed. From Warrior Middle, what about jails? Well, that did happen in China, where 2 jails got infected and everybody got sick. And I think something similar happened in South Korea with one of their mental wards, where every patient got sick. Red Pill Nation, weapon ideas, black powder pistols, and rifles can be shipped to your door. Shotguns are cheap and plentiful. Crossbows, compound bows, knives, and spears. From Soothink, now's not the time to quit smoking. From Chicken Bone, I just got done with my first round of prepping and got about 40 pounds of food. As a normie, I'd like to thank you for being pretty much the best info on the subject in all of media. Sounds insane, I know. It does sound insane. The dating persona, all hail our Lord and Savior Kim Jong-un. From Generella, thanks Jim. Party in your bunker at midnight. From Sil 80D, can't wait until it spreads to Disney World. Random number 9, buy yourself a tactical McNuke. From Aurora Borealis, do you expect to see the the U.S. military locked down over this? How bad will it have to be before Trump drops the hammer? I do expect to see maybe medical martial law. You could probably see, what is it? I'm blanking on the name now. I could see the military getting involved, yes. But it would have to get really bad. I mean, we're talking like major cities just devolving into chaos. From Yajami, Jim, if you knew how bad, or if you knew you had Corona, Chan, and it was terminal, what place would you spread it to? If I knew I had that and it was terminal, I'd probably just be, I don't know, playing video games and jacking off to anime like any other day of the week. You're gonna do the things you love as you go on. You wanna leave the world with a smile. From Badnut, just curious, what in the 6-digit code for your bunker door? Well, leaving it as a surprise is half the fun. From Billy Bobby, my wife and I went out today and bought 2 weeks worth of supplies. We found everything we need except the masks. Stay safe, be prepared. From Jessica Eustis, at least we can kill some of the cows and horses out there and have a weekly neighborhood barbecue. Good luck, Herbo Fags. From Michael E., oyster mushrooms and bush beans are very low tech and can survive forever off of. Also get some metal barrels and make charcoal to filter your water. From Bow Wow, you should stream the Dem debate tonight and watch Bernie get wrecked by everyone else. Now, politics really isn't my foray. I was kind of thinking about following some of this shit, but more interested in this. From Americano 6, congratulations. From Joan R, can we agree we as humans deserve this? From Bad Nut, hashtag let Jade in the bunker. From Faros Kalen, shit, I live in Minnesota. Well, time to stock up on the vodka and watch the world go out. Not with a bang, but with a soft poo. From Corny, Hotel and Tenerife under quarantine with 1,000 people. Yeah, didn't they have one Italian that was sick in there? I think that's what happened. From Joe Hill, there's been 2 confirmed cases near me in South Korea. Everyone masked up, and the cult is public enemy number 1. Got to go outside later with cultists trying desperately to recruit people. Pray for me, Jim. Best of luck. Joan Arc. Also, for whoever's left Scotch and Draeger, sell good masks, not China made, but money. From Jason vs. Jason 2017, I'm relying on you to keep the Wu flu out of America, Jimbo. Don't let us down. TDW395, my dad has been sick. First confirmed case in MD. Well, hopefully he doesn't have it, because it would suck. A Wild Deku. I wonder if the Leafs are crapping themselves considering this their immensely long wait time hospitals. I guess coronas are a human right. Christian Almaradez. Infection outbreak Super Tuesday. Yeah, I know some of the events that are planned all over the place, it's a bad feeling with those. Awful Human. Have you considered hollowing out Jade and wearing her like a skin suit so the virus thinks you're already infected because Asians and leaves you alone? That is a stunning strategy that I may employ, but I can't confirm that or not. Salty King 23. Hopefully Ireland doesn't get hit too bad, but with the UK having cases, it's only a matter of time. From the Shrevel, UK government passed legislation titled the Health Protection Corona Regulation 2020. Go to legislations.gov.uk year 2020. It's number 129. From Lars Hoshenik. I butchered your name. I know I did. Omar Wa Mao Shinderflu. After reading enough of these, your mind starts to go a little. Anthony Seibert. Fly me to the moon and let me coof among the stars. From Tanech. Well, my state is doomed. Thanks for the info, Jim. Well, glad I could help. From Americano 6. You need mods to silence the porn bots in chat. I will try to have that dealt with by the next time. I don't use mods, but I'll find a way to get those porn bots dealt with. You're not interested in going to the North and South Pole? I don't know. It sounds like a great trip. From Sean Turner. Will Ross be infected, and can we get an update? I have no idea what he's up to and no idea if he's infected. Sebastian Anon. The whole scenario reminds me of an anime you should check out sometime. It's called Berserk. Is that the one? Is Berserk the one where he gets fucked by the black guy? I don't know. He had a big sword and got butt fucked by a black... Is that Berserk? Maybe. I'll have to look into it. From Denise the Rabbit, New Zealand here. My grandparents got back from a cruise this week and Grandma started to coof. This isn't a joke. Should I be worried? Well, if she develops a fever, make sure to bring her into the doctor and demand they do an x-ray. If they've got pneumonia, high fever, and a dry cough, chances are you should follow that up and try to push to get the CDC to do a fucking test. From Cy Brav, looking to uni at NC at Chapel Hill, Koof Koof. Vincent Kang teleports behind you, Koofs in Chinese, nothing personal, Guilo. Otto Cannon, hey Jim, I'm a type 1 diabetic and I think everyone with a chronic illness might be completely fucked or boned. Well, yeah, you could be right. Overlord VHS, why the niggers not get sick? Well, if you're talking about why it seems, I don't know why it is that it seems that Central America, Mexico, South America, and Africa are so untouched. And I think that's where the idea that the CDC's optimistic outlook on this came from. Oh, these areas have a higher temperature, so it's more like a seasonal thing. And because we're not seeing cases in South America and Africa, that must mean that by April, May at the latest in the rest of the world, it warms up and the disease dies. But now we're starting to see it. Brazil's got a confirmed case. There's a case in Algeria. There's a case in Egypt. There's speculated 260 cases in Chile. So it looks like the weather thing doesn't matter. So now really the question is, why hasn't Mexico or Central America been hit? Is it just they can't test for it? Are they thinking it's a flu? I have no fucking idea. From Pixel Perfect, haha, remember H1N1. From Solus, some dudes on 4chan business board are dumping their money into some Corona coin crap and are making money off every koofer that dies. Gotta make that dosh always be closing, all right? From Point Curation, Neo Unrealist does video pieces on various subjects. His recent coronavirus stuff has been good. From Malleable Tick, I'm off to the Air Force boot camp in Lackland, the base where Corona Chan is. Press F for me. Also read Gal Gohan. From Arias Rofocal, Eugene admitted SARS-2 is almost as bad as racism. Oh, he's moving along. He's moving along here a little. From Ferd Reich, PSA, Medicare Fembot is a 45-year-old guy who LARPs as a 17-year-old waifu and its own boyfriend, probably to collect dong pics from Esalabs. From Sword and Scales, Jim, how many months of fermented potato juice and cancer sticks will you need for this seasonal allergy? Well, I've got, actually I probably should stockpile cigarettes. That's the one thing I haven't paid attention to. Oh boy, that's going to be a disaster. Nothing like going through fucking nicotine withdrawal during the apocalypse. From Janeska Merle, MSM finally saying more than just the flu on TV. From Bun Buns, multiple for confirmed cases in my city. I think I may be doomed. It's been nice knowing you, Jimbo. From MN Sisu, yeah, but if you buy a house of a dead koofer, then you will have a koofing ghost that will be super annoying. I'm not sure if the ghost will koof or not. But it would be really fucking annoying, I'll grant you that, if they did. From the Clown Storm, do you think that this is a ploy by the incel party to kill the boomers and take their land so Asperger's of people can procreate on it? Yes, I do. From Jacob Kilgore, my squad and I have 7 weeks of MREs and are ready to take a long fishing trip to an isolated island on the Caribbean, where we will purge all humans on the island and just chill while everyone dies on the mainland. Wasn't that the ending for the remake of Dawn of the Dead? Didn't they all get in a boat and go to an island, and then they got to the island and there were a bunch of fucking zombies there? You're gonna get to the island, it'll be full of koofers. From Lazy B, but Jim, the flu kills more people. From Al, they sent 5 confirmed cases to my town's hospital. Nurses' friends say the ward isn't airtight. See you in Valhalla, Jimbo. From Mark Skog, I felt the disturbance in the forest at about noon. I knew DBLM would be coming out tonight. Legato Madi, I jacked off and it came out orange. It's probably nothing. From Jean Arc, everyone I know is going to Japan and bait I'm so dead small camp and a mess where everyone can just cuff and touch all my food. From Radiant Chrome, there was a suspected case in St. Petersburg. A woman picked an electric lock in her hospital after being put in there to test her. Are you talking? Yeah, the 2 Russian chicks that decided to fucking run from quarantine. Didn't they catch them and throw their ass back in? New tunes for old logos. If they cured reinfect, then it's zombie apocalypse. From Artka9, finally your docs. I can shut down your racist fakes newscasts. Please buy my Vor porn chat. Help a degenerate in these koofing times. Cupcake Pug Dog, Corona Chan deserves birthright trip to Isn't Israel. From Rorai, Koof Koof, I'm koofing. From Rod Howard, now is the perfect time to buy a couple of copies of Skyrim and Fallout 4 for your family. You'll need something to do while you're locked down hiding from the Wu Flu. And that's our boy Todd, always closing. From Metacor's Lunicorn Archives, press B to brap on the chatbots to death. From Corny Hotel in Tenerife, under quarantine with 1,000 people locked up after the Italian visit. From Mike Mnemonic, who bakes better pizza, German Domino's or Papa Wuhan's? Well, we're going to find out soon enough once some cameras get in there and uncover the truth. From Joan Arc, why are there so many fake adult accounts? I don't know. From Jeff Rock, missed the stream, have 2 Canadian pesos. From Audacity, gather round the patty, feeling kind of shabby, cough, 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 it's Chinese AIDS. From Topicals, is it worth risking infection for some yarrow gash? Probably not. Probably not. From Morgan Earp, take a vial, then you smile as you tuck into some breathing, you're getting very pale, and now you cross the veil. From a long string of numbers, just came back from a little trip to Rome, can't stop coughing. This might be it, fellas. From Mothy Eagle, I work at an airport in a state where people have already been infected. It's full of exceptional individual boomers that are still coming to work after being sick, so please press P to pray for me. Oh, they've got that old-fashioned work ethic? You kids. I may be shitting blood out of my ass, and my lungs are coming up, but it doesn't matter. I'm going to infect everybody, but I can't miss a day of work. All right, that's you give them a firm handshake. That's how you greet death. From Vincent Paisano, how do I convince my loved ones? They've gone full on Eugene that Kufageddon might be a pressing issue. The more I try to tell them, the more they double down in their views. I'll just wait till their dead bodies outside and then be like, fucking told ya. RPG or 90, Shinji Church is going to lead to Kim reuniting Korea. From Cozy Glow, Sonic braps and takes his shoes off in the movie. What the fuck? Pixel Perfect, remember H1N1. Also, YouTube Premium works fine, both iOS and Android. Using it right now with the stream. From Big Guy, Jim, please appoint some mods to remove the